On day 1, I spawned in the Sika Woods as an Ice Spiderman! This is awesome! I didn't think the world's greatest web slinger could get any cooler, but hey, here I am! Things weren't all peachy though. For starters, I only had 10 hearts, and for seconds, a giant buff pigluss came barging through the trees towards me.
Spider-Man, I found you!
Wait, what? I don't understand.
Don't play dumb with me, Spider-Man. I'm Pigluss Polly, the biggest, meanest, smartest, and also most beautiful pigluss in all the land. And you've been trying to mess with my plans for years. Don't think that turning your suit blue would confuse me. I'm a genius.
But I'm just Zozo playing Spider-Man. There's been some kind of mistake.
You will confound me not, puny spider. You better run, or my bubble brawler boys will beat you into a spidery pulp.
I could tell when I wasn't wanted, and this was one of those times. I turned and ran as quickly as I could. What did she mean about her bubble brawler boys? But life soon answered my question. A gang of bubble monsters emerged from the trees and started chasing me. Oh, there they are! Using my enhanced spider speed, I was able to escape and find a hiding place for the night. Always great to spawn into a world where someone already has a grudge against me. I need to figure this out before it's too late. On day 2, when I got the sense that the coast was cleared, I spider climbed out of my hiding spot and started to explore the woods a little more casually. This place is actually pretty beautiful. Maybe I should work on building a home around here. That's when one of the bubble monsters jumped out in front of me.
Oh, I'll build you a home, Spidey. 6 feet under. You've got a lot of nerve showing your face around here. Lady Polly wants us to destroy you on sight.
I still don't know what I did to upset your beast of a boss, but if you think this icy superhero won't be fighting back, you've just made your last mistake. We battled hand to hand. What the bubble monster didn't know was I had super spider strength, so my hits really packed a punch. After a few well-aimed strikes, I burst his bubble and moved on. Wow, beating that guy up really worked up an appetite. I need to find myself some nosh. Lucky for me, there were plenty of trees around. I collected the yummy pears from the leaves. Tasty! I knocked down the rest of the pear tree with my spider fists. With the spare wood, I made myself a wooden pickaxe. Then, I dug into the ground and collected enough stone to assemble a stone pickaxe, stone axe, and a stone sword. I've got that caveman swag now. With my new stone axe, I gathered more wood and built myself a little spider base with a room for me to spend the night indoors. Ah, nice and cozy. Things are gonna get better and better. On day 3, I left my base and went out to explore the Jacaranda forest. It was a gorgeous sight to see. Even if there aren't any useful resources around here, it's worth it for the view. But just because the view was breathtaking didn't mean that everyone who lived there was chill. Case in point, a big angry mutated bee ran over to me.
What do you think you're doing here?
I'm walking here?
Are you making fun of me?
No, I don't even know who you are.
The name's Benson, Barry B. Benson, and I was just a normal bee until my human wife left me and I got turned into the superpowered mutant abomination.
I don't see how that's my problem.
Well, I gotta take it out on somebody, don't I?
Barry B. Benson attacked me with furious intensity, and even with my spider strength, I couldn't defeat his divorced mutant rage. Instead, I ran away as he fumed loudly in the background. He sounded like he should chill out or maybe get into jazz. On my way out of the Jacaranda forest, I ran into a sad-looking spider. Seeing as I myself was also a spider, I decided to go over and ask her if she was okay. Hey, I'm Zozo. Who are you? Is everything okay?
I'm Spider Queen, and sadly, things aren't okay.
Oh wow, Spider Queen? Does that mean you're the queen of all spiders?
No, I'm actually a one-spider tribute act to the band Queen. They're my favorite. But Pigluss hates Queen, and she won't let me perform anymore.
That's horrible. Why not come back to my base? You can work on your act there.
That's amazing, Zozo. I want it all.
From day 4 to day 5, I returned to my little base in the Sika Woods with Spider Queen at my side. It's not much, but it's home.
It looks amazing to me, Zozo. Musicians don't make much money, and I'm super impressed by this. Do you want me to sleep on the floor?
What? No way! I'm gonna build you your own room. So that's exactly what I did. I gathered up enough wood to make Spider Queen her own special room where she could jam out all she liked.
Oh, Zozo, you're the best. I couldn't be happier.
Take a second to hide in there. I think I can hear another bubble monster coming towards us. Spider Queen hid away inside the room I'd made for her as I went out to battle the bubble monster.
Pigluss sends her regards. We're gonna destroy you for her, one way or another. or she's gonna do it herself.
She's gonna need to destroy me herself, because there's no way you're up to the task, Bubble Boy. With my new stone sword, the Bubble Monster didn't stand a chance. He was soon defeated, and I returned to Spider Queen. It's okay, the Bubble Monster is gone now. You're safe.
We are the champions! Yay! Thank you for saving us, Zozo. Here, have one of my guitars. It plays music while you fight with it.
Spider Queen gave me the guitar, and I immediately equipped it. Whoa, this is cool as heck.
Oh yeah, we will rock you.
On day 6, I started the day with the wholesome act of sheep gathering, just in case I need the wool for a new Spidey suit. I wandered into the woods, and after a long time, emerged from them, seeing a road. Whoa, where am I? I followed the road and soon found myself in a cul-de-sac with some really cool and colorful houses nearby. Is that a flying orange? At the base of the flying orange, I saw some sheep wandering around, just what I was looking for. I started to round up the sheep when an orange boy came bounding out of the orange at me.
Get away from my sheep, you costume creep!
Whoa, hang on a second. I didn't want to hurt him, but he wouldn't listen to me.
Richie, what are you doing? Leave that guy alone.
Yeah, Richie, he didn't know those were your sheep.
Richie stopped chasing me as 3 more characters, one of which looked like a bear, came running over to me.
Max, do you know who this guy is? He looks like he might be dangerous.
Relax, Beast. I'm sure he's fine. Whoa, that suit is awesome. Did you invent that? I'm something of a scientist myself.
You guys are being so rude. What's your name? I'm Sky, this is Beast, Max, and Richie.
I'm Zozo, and yeah, this is my Spidey suit, one of the icy variety anyway. What are you guys doing out here? But before they could answer, I saw the last person I wanted to see. It was Pigluss. She had found me, and she was wielding a huge, terrifying mace.
Like my new hardware, Spider-Man? This mace is one of the most powerful weapons out there. Perfect for squishing a nasty little bug like you.
Whoa, who is the little piggy?
Max, don't provoke her. Can't you see what she's holding?
Hey, who do you think you are talking to our new friend like that?
Oh, glad to know there's no hard feelings about the sheep. This is Pigless Polly. She kinda wants to destroy me.
Enough jibber-jabber. I'll squash all of you then.
Yeah, we'd like to see you try.
We're not scared of you.
Max threw down a mysterious item on the ground, and a bunch of armor appeared out of it. His friends suddenly put on armor that matched their colors, along with some matching swords.
Fine. No need to ruin a perfectly good neighborhood. But mark my words, Spidey. I'll find you again, and I'll be stronger than ever.
Pigless Polly turned and ran, leaving me alone with Max and his friends. Whoa, guys, thanks for the help. I could use you guys back at my base.
That sounds really fun, but I don't think we can make it. To answer your question from before about what we're doing here, I'm a YouTuber, and I document all the crazy adventures my friends and I go on.
Yeah, if you've got some days to spare, you should hang out with us.
You know, I could actually use a couple days to lay low after that encounter. Let's do it! From day 7 to day 8, well, actually, you'll just have to click the link in the description to watch what I did on days 7 and 8 with Max and his friends. Our adventure is just in English though, but it was super fun. And if you watch, be sure to leave a comment on his video to let him know I sent you. From day 9 to day 10, I was on my way back to my base with some sheep as a gift from Richie. When I arrived, Spider Queen came running over to talk to me.
I've been building, Zozo. Come, check it out.
She'd been building a lot, in fact. One of the first things I'd seen was the statue she'd been working on to inspire me. I couldn't tell what it was yet, but I was very excited to find out. Do you have any ideas? Let me know down in the comments. And the statue wasn't all. She'd also been working on some new buildings and upgrades for the base itself, including a storage room for all of our gear, a training room for practicing our skills, and a furnace for smelting ore into ingots. I'm so glad to have you here, Spider Queen.
And I'm grateful to have you here as a friend. You're the best friend I've ever had, Zozo.
Last thing I did for the day was set up a basic sheep pen and went to bed. From day 11 to day 12, Spider Queen and I relaxed while she practiced her music. I've been wondering, why do you think Pigless Polly believes I'm her Spider-Man? How can there even be more than one Spider-Man?
I've got a theory about that, actually. I think when you spawned, it created a dimensional rift that sent this universe's Spider-Man into your native dimension while bringing you here, like a big cross-dimensional swap.
Whoa, that's wild! How can you know all this when you're just a one-spider tribute band? No offense, of course.
I actually have a degree in trans-dimensional physics. It's more of a hobby thing, really. Being a Queen tribute act is my real ambition.
From day 13 to day 15, I returned to the beautiful Jacaranda Forest with a plan in mind. Defeat that dastardly Barry B. Benson, the mutated bee. He's gotta be around here somewhere. I mean, he's so aggro, I imagine he'll come looking for me. And I was right. After a little more searching, Barry the mutated bee ran in and prepared to attack me.
There you are! You've been due for a good thrashing, Zozo! I still haven't forgiven you for your trespasses against me earlier!
I still don't fully understand what I did, but if we've got to fight, let's just get it over with and fight!
Finally, you're making some sense!
And so, our battle began! I battered him with my guitar until he submitted, but I decided against finishing him off because honestly, I felt sorry for him. Go talk to your ex-wife, Barry. You clearly have some pent-up anger issues, and you're not gonna solve them by beating up random strangers.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry for all the trouble, Zozo.
And with that, he left. But my act of kindness and mercy gave me some XP to level up, getting 30 hearts, getting bigger and stronger, and getting a web shooter, which I could use to shoot webs. About time. I wonder… Whoa! I can also ride the webs as they fly through the air. Awesome! At long last, some real Spider-Man powers. This is great! From day 16 to day 19, I decided that I couldn't battle every baddie with just a guitar, so I went down into the nearest mining cavern to find some iron ore. Spider-Man wants his hands on some iron, man. And my catchy theme song worked, because I did manage to find a vein of iron ore and immediately started mining it. This seems like about enough to make the tools I want. Time to head back to my base. But on the way out of the mining cave, I saw a dangerous zombie spoiner standing in my way. But wait, this is a perfect opportunity to try out my new web shooter. I started throwing down cobwebs, trapping the zombie spoiner in place and slowing him down to a crawl. With him lodged in place, it was easy to finish him off with my rockin' guitar. Yeah, that power is gonna be really useful. After that, I went back to my base and smelted the ore in my furnace until I had just enough ingots to make a metal sword and a metal pickaxe, axe, and some boots. This has been an extremely successful excursion. From day 20 to day 22, I was having the most amazing dream when I was suddenly woken up by Spider Queen standing anxiously next to my bed.
Zozo, I'm sorry to wake you up, but something really scary is happening.
Oh no, what's that?
I was playing Bohemian Rhapsody a little too loudly, and I think Pigluss heard me. Long story short, she's standing outside.
What?
Now I think we need to fight her.
It's too dangerous for you, Spider Queen. Stay in here. I'll go and face her alone. And that's exactly what I did. I got out of bed and ran out to battle Pigluss, who was still wielding her terrifying mace.
There you are, Spider-Man. Not so tough with all your colorful friends no longer around. It's time for you to meet your doom.
I keep telling you, I'm not the Spider-Man you're looking for. I come from a different dimension. I'm the Ice Spiderman.
Well, even if you aren't my Spider-Man, I'll still settle for getting to destroy a Spider-Man. And you'll do just fine.
If your mind's made up, then I guess we better fight! And we did, but this time, I had a way better chance! I threw down some cobwebs immediately, trapping Pigluss in place before pulling out my iron sword and going to town. In the end, she broke free from the cobwebs, but she seemed startled.
You're stronger than I remember. I don't have time for this. We'll battle again soon, and next time, you won't be so lucky!
She fled after that, leaving me feeling stronger and more confident than ever. If I keep getting stronger, I think I can finally take her. From day 23 to day 26, I spent some time at my base, calmly collecting myself and spitting together a new addition to my spider suit. I used the wool from the sheep I got from Richie and some emu feathers that were laying on the ground to weave some outback leggings. With these, I could move faster and dodge out of the way of projectiles. Now I've really got the agility of a spider. It wouldn't be perfect. There was only about a 45% chance I'd be able to avoid oncoming attacks, but it was the edge I would need in my next battle with Pigluss. And if you think this adventure is getting wild, then you should search for more videos and see more of my Minecraft challenges. Just type ZOZO into the search bar up above. From day 27 to day 31, while I was still hunkered down at the base in the secret woods, I noticed Spider Queen seemed to be struggling with her statue. What's wrong, Spider Queen?
Zozo, I just feel so under pressure. It's pushing down on me. I want to get the statue finished, but I'm missing a very key component.
Hey, it's okay. You've been doing great so far. Here, why don't I help you out? What's this component you need to add to your statue?
I just need some redstone blocks.
Say no more. I'll go and fetch some.
Thank you, Zozo.
I ventured off to track down large quantities of redstone, making my way towards the Twilight Valley. This place was a lot darker than the other areas I had visited. The shadows were the perfect cover for some bubble monsters to sneak up and ambush me.
There he is! Get him! Pigluss's orders!
Hey, come on, guys. Surely there's a peaceful way around this. Pigluss can't be paying you that much.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. Let's go. Get a home run!
Jerry, quiet down. Sorry, he gets a little excited about baseball. Oh, hey, where'd he go?
Over here, Bubble Brain. I turned the shadows to my advantage and struck the bubble monsters in place with my cobweb attacks. They tried to swipe at me from the spots they were stuck to, but a few swinging smashes with my slammin' six strings and their bubbles were burst. And just my luck, nearby there was a large deposit of redstone ore, so I gathered it up for Spider Queen. From day 32 to day 35, I continued patrolling around the Twilight Valley for any more signs of trouble, along with any more useful resources I could bring back. And while I was wandering around, I overheard the sound of distressed wailing.
Help! Oh, won't someone help me? I'm far too important to need to ask for help.
Hey there, who are you?
Oh, what a rather humorous joke. Quite amusing, yes, imagine not knowing who I am. Why, you've cheered me up somewhat, small spidery peasant.
I wasn't kidding. I don't know who you are.
Don't know? How insulting. I am royalty. I am the king pig, pig-headed head of the pig-head monarchy.
Oh, my bad. Are you needing help with something?
Well, it's about time you offered. My benefactor, the rich mummy, has run afoul of a hairy troll. And since he provides me with a lion's share of his wealth, I'm distraught. He's not even written me into his will yet, so I won't get any of his gold if that troll smashes him.
You, want me to go save him? Yeah, I'm a superhero after all.
Oh, a hero of the common folk. How quaint. Yes, on you go, Spider Boy.
It's Spider-Man! Ice Spiderman! From day 36 to day 39, I searched the Twilight Valley for any signs of this rich mummy, and eventually came across my first sign of where he might be, a troll's mini base. I watched from a distance, and it looked like the hairy troll was guarding the front entrance. If I tried to just walk up, he could smash me to spider smithereens. So I had to think up a strategy. How was I going to get in there? I'd need to take the troll out, but attacking head-on was a bad idea. Sneaking around the back? It could work, but it might take too long, and the rich mummy might be doomed if the troll got hungry before I could reach him. Think, Zozo, think! You can do whatever a spider can. Oh, could I climb in? I tried on a nearby tree, but I couldn't stick to it. No climbing up walls for me, that stinks. I could ride my web shooter, but he will spot me immediately. That's not gonna work either. Maybe my best option was to look for another way in. From day 40 to day 43, I made my way around the outskirts of the troll's mini base, and lucky for me, there was a back entrance. Inside, I found the rich mummy trapped in a cage.
Who might you be? Oh no, you're not with him, are you? Oh ghastly, you must be his torturer.
No, I'm Ice Spiderman. I'm here to save you. Just keep it down. I need to clear the way ahead. Then I'll come back for you. I snuck through the base and spotted the hairy troll. He didn't see me coming, so I used the element of surprise while I had it. I spun my webs to catch him in place, but he was strong enough to tear himself free. It barely slowed him down. He swung his mace at me, and I was luckily able to dodge out of the way just in the nick of time, thanks to my Outback leggings. I retaliated by swinging my guitar at him, but the hairy troll had a high resistance to rock. Thinking quick, I used my webs again, not to get him stuck, but to blind him. It worked! I could get close enough to bash the hairy troll with my guitar and defeated him! With the troll out of the way, I went back to free the rich mummy and led him back to the king pig.
Ah, Reginald, so good to see you. Thank you for your assistance, Spider Peasant. You may leave my mighty presence now.
So much for grateful. From day 44 to day 49, I finally made my way back to base to deliver the redstone blocks that Spider Queen needed.
This is perfect. Exactly what I needed. Zozo, you make the rockin' world go round.
It was no problem, Spider Queen. Can't wait to see what you do with it. It was then that I took a look around the base. The whole place was in a real sorry state. I decided now that I had a moment to spare, I'd dedicate some time to cleaning up and improving the base with some defensive upgrades. I built a sturdy perimeter wall to stop any intruders from getting in. By the time I was done, Spider Queen had something to show me.
Ta-da! Open your eyes, look up to the sky, and see!
Wow, that's really something, Spider Queen.
Thanks, Zozo. It's not quite done, but it'll rock you when it's finished.
From day 50 to day 53, I awoke to the sound of a struggle. Spider Queen was in trouble.
Zozo, help! Help me! I want to break free! I've got to break free!
I rushed into action, but as soon as I stepped out of my room, I was greeted by a gang of bubble monsters.
Rise and shine, Ice Spiderman.
And I didn't order room service, guys.
It's on the house, no charge. Speaking of, boys, charge!
Outside, Pigluss had arrived, and she was sending in hordes of her bubble minions to attack. I hadn't even had breakfast yet, and now I had to fend off monsters with all of my might. Good thing I got in my 8 hours last night.
We got the Spidey you're looking for, boss.
You idiots! That's the musician! I wanted the little brat in blue pajamas, not Leggy Mercury here!
I was still battling the bubble monsters. By the time I had finally burst every last one of them, I had gained enough XP to level up. Wow, I've heard some people start their day with a workout, but this is insane! I now had 50 hearts and a new ability, Ice Blast! I was quickly becoming the coolest superhero around. There was one problem, I'd lost my musical guest in the process. From day 54 to day 57, I decided my only option was to return to the pompous King Pig and see if he knew where I could find Pigluss. King Pig, Pigluss. I wonder if the two of them are related. Yeah, probably just a coincidence. A short journey later, and I was back in the Twilight Valley. All I had to do was listen out for the sounds of stolen moneybags, and sure enough, I found the monarch in front of his castle.
Oh, you're back. Spider something, wasn't it? Did one of my servants send for you?
No, I'm here to ask you some questions. And since you didn't even thank me for saving your friend, I'd say you at least owe me a little bit of your time.
My time is very valuable, like all the jewels and gemstones my servants brought me from far away. But I suppose I have a few moments to spare.
My friend was taken by Pigluss. I need to know where she is.
Pigluss? Pigluss? Do not speak that name!
You know each other then?
She's a traitor to the crown, a deserter. She stormed out when she figured out she'd never be next in line to the throne. Gave her a real complex. She feels like she's better than everyone, but still not good enough if she can't rule.
Wait, so does that make her your sister? Or no, cousin? Royalty is confusing, and it seems like a lot of fuss over nothing.
Nothing? How dare you? We uphold a proud and noble tradition of theft. A tradition of tradition.
So where is Pigluss now?
I don't keep in touch. She said some very hurtful things about me which weren't at all true. But last I heard, she resides in Red Rock Mountain, although the terrain is harsh, so you won't make it there in one piece with so little armor.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to follow up on the one useful piece of advice the King Pig had to offer and set about crafting myself some tough new armor. I scoured the area until I found a cave that led to a mine tucked away deep underground, and in the mine was plenty of what I needed, diamonds! I managed to find quite a few, but not enough to make the armor I needed. Not wanting them to go to waste, I forged them into a mighty diamond sword for stronger attacks, and a matching pickaxe to make mining quicker and easier. I didn't have to wait long to test them out either. As it turned out, the mine belonged to a skeleton jackal who was none too happy about me mining his diamonds. But it didn't take more than a few swings of my shiny new blade to settle our differences. From day 63 to day 66, I decided, rather than rushing straight back into danger and venturing up the treacherous terrain of the Red Rock Mountain, I hiked back to base to catch up on some rest. That way, I could be ready and refreshed when I set off to save Spider Queen. But speaking of Spider Queen, when I returned to base, I was met with a saddening sight. Her statue left unfinished now that she'd been captured. I thought about completing it in her honor, but it felt too much like admitting defeat before I'd even tried to save her. So instead, I left it as it was. She could have the satisfaction of finishing her hard work once I'd gotten her back in one piece. Knowing her, she was probably looking forward to it. I settled in for the night, right in Spider Queen's bedroom. That way, I feel closer to her. Watch till the end of the video to see if we manage to save her. And why not click that subscribe button down below to stay tuned for future videos. From day 67 to day 70, I made my long journey towards Red Rock Mountain, scaling the dangerous Crimson Cliff Face and being careful to watch my step. One fall, and it could be all over. As I descended from the peaks, I spotted a path. I followed until I saw the looming structure that Pigluss had made into her base, and the whole place was massive and absolutely crawling with her minions. While I was still scoping it out from a distance, I thought back to my mission to save the rich zombie from that hairy troll, and how I hadn't been able to enter through the front, but had better luck looking for a second way in. So I tried the same tactic again, heading around, scaling massive mountains, swinging from one hilltop to the other until I made it to the side of the base. I saw my entry point, an opening in the side. I aimed carefully and shot my web shooter to make my way in. And I landed right in the middle of a group of bubble monsters.
It's the spider! Get this sucker, boys!
Heck of a way to roll out the welcome wagon. You treat all your guests like this? I swung my diamond sword and instantly slashed the nearest two, taking care of the next with a well-timed ice blast. Another hit from my sword, and he was shattered to pieces, while the others were quickly stuck fast with my webs right where I could strike at them. From day 71 to day 74, I snuck around the inside of Red Rock Mountain Base, making sure to keep out of the path of Pigluss's many minions. But there was one enemy I recognized.
Halt in the name of pigluss! Oh wait, it's you, Zozo!
Barry? Barry B. Benson?
Black and yellow, hello!
How are things with you and your wife?
Hard to say. We're still going through it. We're planning to go see a concert soon. She likes jazz.
That's good. So you're not gonna attack me?
Nah, you're good. I just need to think about some things.
It wasn't hard to see that his heart really wasn't all in on working for Pigluss.
It's a good job. I mean, there's not a lot of coverage, no dental, stuff like that.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, sure. Listen, I shouldn't tell you this, but check the chest in the room up ahead. There's some handy stuff in there.
I went to investigate and found myself the proud owner of a full set of diamond armor. Whoa, Barry wasn't kidding. Now I can match the speed of a spider with the protection of diamonds. From day 75 to day 78, I explored a little more and found where Pigluss had left Spider Queen trapped in a big cage. She'd clearly been singing to herself to keep her spirits up, but by now, she was just yelling in case any of the bubble monsters were passing by.
I just gotta get out of this prison cell. Someday I'm gonna be free. Oh, look, I want to break free. I've got to break free. Now? Please? Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go?
Now's good for you then?
Zozo! Oh, you're a sight for sore eyes. I've been so bored cooped up here. I want to get out and have fun. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
You have a bike? But you've got 8 legs.
I think it's a metaphor or something.
Well, I've got just the thing to break you out.
Gunpowder? Gelatine? Dynamite with a laser beam?
Close. It's a diamond sword. With a swing of the blade, I cracked open the lock and sent Spider Queen back to our base. She rushed off, and not a moment too soon, because Pigluss had found me.
You! First you intrude on my dimension, then you intrude on my home. I'm going to squash you at long last, puny spider!
Pigluss came at me, but I was able to freeze one of her feet in place, then web her hands to slow her down. I leaped close to swipe at her with my diamond sword, but just when I thought I had the upper hand, she knocked me back with a powerful hit. I decided to escape while I still could, and dashed out of the base. From day 79 to day 84, I was exhausted from the fighting, so the Spider Queen offered to give me a ride, which was really nice of her. We managed to make our way back to safety, but little did I realize that Pigluss had had enough.
That little wretch! How dare he try to defy my right to rule! He and the rest of this overworld will soon see that they shouldn't have messed with Pigluss!
With that, Pigluss used a powerful potion to make herself even stronger. Now she'd be an even tougher fight when it came time for me to face off with her again. From day 85 to day 89, we arrived back at base, and my good friend Spider Queen, whose ride was surprisingly comfy, was super happy to be free from Pigluss's cage.
Pigluss thought she could stop me and spit in my eye. But we did it. We are the champions, my friend.
We sure are.
Look, I managed to swipe this from one of the guards at Pigluss's base. I thought I could use it to break free, but instead, I was just screaming, "Let me out!" Anyway, I think you should have it. You're gonna take on the world someday.
Spider Queen handed me the upgrade. It was a fire aspect and sharpness 2 enchantment. I immediately went to apply it to my diamond sword to deal some extra damage. Now, I had the power of ice, fire, and spiders on my side. Once I was done improving my sword, I returned to find Spider Queen putting the final finishing touches on her statue.
Heyo, are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Then may I present to you my masterpiece. I call it Zohemian Rhapsody.
Zohemian?
Named after you, of course, Zozo. I can't keep living without you by my side.
I like it. Makes me feel ready to take on Pigluss one last time.
Well, you better be careful. I saw she had a whole cabinet of potions to make her stronger. Her bubble monsters steal them from King Pig's cellar and bring them back to her.
Maybe I can intercept them and take a potion for myself. That ought to level the playing field.
And that way, you'll keep on fighting to the end.
From day 90 to day 94, I headed back towards the Twilight Valley and followed a trail that the bubble monsters had left from the King Pig's palace to a small camp they had set up nearby. Just like Spider Queen had told me, they had a potion of power, but it must have been the last one left.
Yep, that's the last one left.
Hey, boss, question. If Pigluss had us stealing all these here potions, why doesn't she give each of us one? Then we'd all be a tougher army, and she could overthrow the King Pig.
We're not about that kind of talking. The potions are for Pigluss.
I webbed the closest bubble monster in place, slashing the other with my newly enchanted fire aspect diamond sword. The heat popped them in an instant, and before the other two could get free, I cut them down too. I retrieved the last potion of power, but waited before I drank it. The King Pig's palace was only a short walk away, and maybe I could get one last favor from him. From day 95 to day 97, I walked right up to the King Pig's throne and showed him what I had recovered. You know what this is?
Why, that's an excellent vintage. One glass is worth the yearly wages of my entire staff. You'd better put that back in the cellar with the others before I have you executed.
There are no more others. Pigluss had been sending her minions in to steal them from right under your nose.
Pigluss? Something must be done about that treasonous traitor.
I'll take care of Pigluss, but only if you let me keep this potion and be way nicer to your servants. In fact, stop hoarding all this fancy expensive stuff. Learn to share.
Share? What is that? I'm not familiar with this common folk slang.
You have a whole library here. Look it up in the dictionary. After a few moments of learning what sharing was, the King Pig returned.
Preposterous! If how do I pronounce it? Shared, I wouldn't have all my power and riches.
But that might not be such a bad thing, if even a fraction of your wealth might improve the lives of other people.
So if I, say for example, just gave you this netherite armor, then how would that improve anyone's life?
Well, with that, I could take down Pigluss, which is also what you want, isn't it?
Yes, but confound it! What commoner wizardry is this? You've confused me. I need to go lie down. Here, this is yours, I think.
With that, the King Pig handed over an entire set of netherite armor. Now I had the most powerful protection against Pigluss. On day 98, I returned to my base to make the final preparations I needed to ahead of my big battle with Pigluss. I had my diamond sword at the ready, enchanted with a powerful fire aspect for added flaming damage. I had my netherite armor on, ready to defend me against oncoming damage. Plus, I had my Ice Spiderman powers at the ready. I even tested out my ice blasts and cobwebs, and they were ready to go. Before leaving though, I stopped by Spider Queen's room to tell her how to get to Max's neighborhood. If I didn't make it back, she would need a safe place to live. Now there was just one question. What was going to happen next? If you think you know, then leave your answers in the comments. And while you're there, tell us what video you'd like to see next. On day 99, I made my final journey to Red Rock Mountain and stopped just outside the entrance to Pigluss's base. It was quiet, too quiet. All her minions seemed to have run off in fear. If they were that scared of her new, more powerful form, then I needed to be prepared. I drank the potion of power, and this upgraded me to my final form. I now had a full 100 hearts, and the last of my Ice Spiderman powers were finally unlocked. I could climb walls. Ready for anything, I headed inside to find Pigluss waiting for me. She was much bigger and stronger than before, and way more vicious.
I was meant to rule this silver world. It's my birthright, and I won't have you meddling in my destiny any longer.
Oh, I don't think so, Pigluss. The battle was on. Pigluss hurled a javelin at me, but thanks to my super spider agility and my outback leggings, I dodged right out of the way, then climbed up the nearby wall so I was out of her reach. From my vantage point, I fired ice blasts and cobwebs at her, trying to slow her down.
Get down from there!
She threw another javelin, and I went to get out of the way, but I timed it wrong and fell. I quickly picked myself up and got back into the fight. It was the toughest of battles, but Pigluss seemed to be overexerting herself. I managed to keep dodging away, climbing the walls, and using my webs to slow her down, until finally I landed an ice blast.
This is too cold.
Don't worry, my sword has a fire aspect enchantment. It should help turn up the heat. With a mighty strike, I had done it! Pigluss was defeated at last! On day 100, instead of returning to my base, I returned victorious to Max's neighborhood, where I was immediately greeted by Spider Queen, as well as Max and his friends.
Another one bites the dust. Great work, Zozo. I knew you were gonna be a big man someday.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you, Spider Queen.
Oh, you're too kind. You're the champion here, Zozo.
Spider Queen really livened the place up with her music, but we're glad to see you made it back in one piece.
Me too, and everyone should click the link in the description to check out the adventure we went on together. Then, much to my surprise, the King Pig also showed up.
Zozo, my boy, you didn't tell me that sharing also came with this delightful feeling. I don't really know what it's called, but seeing the smiles on my servants' faces gave me one of those, what are they called? Emotions?
You mean you feel happy?
That's the ticket, and I've been reading up too. Did you know that all the traditions of the pighead monarchy are centuries old? It seems so silly to still be upholding them.
So what did you do?
Oh, I gave my palace and all my riches to my servants. Except they aren't my servants anymore, just people. And so am I. Look at me, one of the people. Now, who is your charming eight-legged friend here?
Well, you might be a former King Pig, but she's Spider Queen.
And we will rock you.
On day 1, I spawned in as an ice spider, an arachnid as cold as the Arctic reaches. All 8 of my legs are here, but why am I so little? I'm only a baby spider. That's when I realized that I was trapped inside of a magic circle. An evil-looking necromancer stood on the outside, casting a terrible spell.
A spider of ice, it will suffice. So says me, Necromancer Bryce.
Lights swirled all around me, and the entire world shook. But when it stopped, I felt like I was able to move. Great! I better get out of here while I can. I tried to scurry away, but Bryce the Necromancer blocked my path.
Not so fast there, Ice Spider. Your part to play is done, so now I'll destroy you and complete the spell.
Hey, I have a name, you know. It's Zozo, and I don't like it when people say they're going to destroy me.
Oh, it's nothing personal. That magic spell I just cast is going to destroy the entire world 100 days from now.
What? The entire world? You do realize that doesn't make it better, right?
But it does make it destroyed. The ritual also says that I should sacrifice the ice spider used in the spell for best results.
Well, it's not going to be this ice spider. I'm leaving, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna find a way to counteract your spell. I bolted for it as fast as my 8 legs could carry. Instead of chasing after me, the necromancer Bryce just laughed wickedly to himself.
Easier said than done, my arachnid friend. The world's destruction is close at hand.
On day 2, I managed to get far enough away from the necromancer Bryce that I could take it easy. I looked around in wonder at the glowing ancient forest around me. I also noticed that I had 10 hearts and that my hunger gauge was lowering fast. It looks like running for my life from a destruction-happy evil necromancer really works up an appetite. I searched around until I found a tree that had apples in it for me to take. Then I ate the apples until my hunger meter was full again. Surviving all alone in this world as a baby spider isn't so bad. I'm really getting the hang of it. I wasn't alone for long though, as I saw a couple of skeleton vanguards appear out from between the trees.
There you are, Ice Spider. We shall get rid of you for our master, the necromancer Bryce.
He must really want to sacrifice me if he's sending skeletons to do his bidding. I tried to fend off the skeleton vanguards, but my spider bites didn't have much of an effect on creatures made of bone.
Give up, Spider. The world is doomed, and your sacrifice will seal its fate.
The mobs kept attacking, bringing me down to my last few hearts. I thought I was doomed. But then, an energy blast distracted the skeleton vanguards and made them run away. Out of nowhere, an illusioner appeared. I realized immediately that they must have been the one who cast the spell.
Follow me, little ice spider. I'll take you to my camp. We'll be safer there.
You saved my life, so I guess I can trust you. On day 3, the illusioner took me to his campsite and cast a protective illusion barrier around both of us so that the mobs wouldn't find us. You're pretty good at casting spells, illusioner.
Please, call me Alan. Illusioner Alan.
Okay, Alan, you're pretty good at casting spells.
Thank you for saying that, but unfortunately, there are mages far more powerful than me in the world, and some of them are using their gifts for evil.
You mean like Necromancer Bryce? Is it true that his spell will end the world?
Not if we good mages have anything to say about it.
Soon after, another mage arrived at the campfire. This one was a wind caller with the power to, well, call wind.
I'm Wind Caller Windy. I'm here to see the Ice Spider.
That's me. I'm Ice Spider Zozo.
Oh, the winds are truly blowing in our favor. You, my amicable arachnid, might be the key to saving the entire world from destruction. Necromancer Bryce's ritual can be stopped by a more powerful spell as long as he doesn't sacrifice an ice spider.
So as long as I'm alive, there's a chance that you mages will be able to stop him.
We'll need your help too. You can battle his henchmen and travel to places which would be too dangerous for us.
You can count on me. I might still be a baby spider, but I won't let the entire world down. From day 4 to day 5, I began to make use of the trees around me to gather wood for a wooden pickaxe. Because my starting area was a forest, it didn't take long to have enough to craft the tool. But wood wouldn't be good for long if I could do better. I mined into the ground with my wooden pickaxe for some stone and quickly upgraded to a stone pickaxe. With the new and improved stone tool, I was able to gather even more stone to use for building and crafting. First, I made a stone sword to defend myself with. Next, I started building a strong shelter where I could stay safe from Necromancer Bryce and his undead minions. Illusioner Alan had chosen to come with me. His illusion spells would help keep me safe while I built the base. Thanks for all your help so far, Alan.
Remember, Zozo, do not rely on magic. It cannot keep every mob away.
I soon understood what he meant when a skeleton appeared and interrupted my building. Good thing I crafted that stone sword. I drew my weapon and brought down the skeleton with a cup of wax. My victory against the skeleton made me stronger and more experienced, and because of that, I grew out of my baby mode into a regular-sized ice spider with 30 hearts. I can shoot ice blasts now. That is more like it. From day 6 to day 8, I was out exploring in the nearby gravelly mountains when I saw a friendly gorilla being attacked by a slime ball.
Get away from me, you slime ball!
The slime ball didn't answer. It just bounced and got slime everywhere. You may be slimy, but this ice spider isn't so helpless anymore. I hit the slime ball with my stone sword over and over. It did a good amount of damage, but I was taking damage the longer I stayed in contact with the slime ball. I retreated back to a safe distance and shot the slime ball with an ice blast. It froze the mob solid, so I was able to get in a few more hits with my stone sword while it was immobilized. I repeated this 2 or 3 times with more ice blasts until the slime ball was defeated. Once the battle was over, the gorilla cheered and ran up to greet me.
Brr, I was cold just watching that, but I'm glad you're on my side.
Of course. I, Ice Spider Zozo, am all about saving others.
You're definitely the nicest ice mob I've met. Say, do you think you could talk to the other one I know and tell him to stop trying to freeze me?
Sure thing. I'll let him know that's not nice.
He's just over here in another part of the mountains.
From day 9 to day 10, the gorilla showed me to the lair of the Icy Creeper, a powerful ice mob that seemed to like to cause trouble. Gorilla seemed worried for me. That's how I knew Icy Creeper would be trouble.
Are you sure you could talk him out of being mean, Zozo?
I can certainly try. I left Gorilla behind and approached the Icy Creeper. His attention was on me immediately, but he didn't speak. It looked like I would need to talk first. Hey, I'm Ice Spider Zozo. I heard you've been trying to freeze the gorilla and they'd like you to stop.
Well, that's very nice, but I'm not gonna. I'll freeze anyone I want.
That's so rude. What did the gorilla ever do to you?
Nothing, but this is a cold world, and I'm one cold, tough customer. If that gorilla doesn't like it, he can go to another mountain.
Don't make me fight you, Icy Creeper.
I'd like to see you try.
I fired my ice blast at the Icy Creeper, but it seemed like he was even colder than me because it barely did any damage. His own ice blast took off a bunch of my hearts. In a battle between ice creatures, I was definitely the loser for now. I ran back to the gorilla, sad that I couldn't defeat the Icy Creeper. I promised Gorilla that I'd let him stay in my base for now and come back to the gravelly mountains to defeat Icy Creeper at a later time. From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base and began renovating the living space so that the gorilla had a place to live. I used a lot of stone bricks so it wouldn't be too different from the mountain he had left behind. Once I had built the room, I went to see the gorilla and showed him where he could stay.
Thanks for letting me stay here, Zozo. I thought you could use some more storage space, so I did a bit of building on my own.
It turned out that the gorilla really had built a room that was perfect for storing extra items. He also built a furnace that would heat up the room where he and the mages would be staying. Oh yeah, I guess you guys need to stay warm. Either way, that's very impressive work.
I call it the home away from home. Oh, I hope I get to see the mountains again before the world ends.
It's not going to end. I'll stop it.
I hope so. That necromancer Bryce has been plotting world destruction for a long time, actually. He's tried all sorts of spells to do it, and they've never worked. This one might, though, and the idea of that is really scary.
It did sound scary, and I wasted no time getting better materials to help defend myself in case Bryce showed up. Down in the mining area of the base, I went digging for some iron to upgrade my tools. I found some iron ore, which I smelted into iron ingots, then crafted into an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. Back on the surface, I tamed some sheep from the nearby glowing ancient forest and built a farm for them. If that furnace fails, there's always wool sweaters. From day 13 to day 15, I sought out Illusioner Alan for some more advice on how to complete Necromancer Bryce's challenge. I want to save the world as soon as I can, Alan. Is the spell ready yet?
If only magic were that simple, Zozo. The truth is that Bryce's destruction spell is linked to you now. The only way to weaken it is for you to become stronger.
How do I do that?
When you defeated Bryce's skeleton henchman before, some of the spell's magic transferred into you. If you could defeat a more powerful one, it could happen again.
I went back to the Gravelly Mountains in the hopes of finding another undead mob to fight. Come and get me! I don't fear you, skeletons! As if answering my call to battle, a skeleton vanguard came charging across the mountain terrain towards me.
Spider of Ice! Spider of Ice! The time has come for sacrifice!
I hit the advancing skeleton vanguard with an ice blast, which slowed the undead down. I was able to hit him with another before he got into melee range. Time to get a taste of my new weapon. At that point, I brought out my iron sword and slashed the skeleton vanguard with some powerful hits. The skeleton vanguard crumbled and dropped a health potion to boot. This potion must contain some more of Bryce's magic. I drank the potion and felt my power increase dramatically. My number of hearts doubled and became 60, and I gained the magical ability to turn invisible like see-through ice. From day 16 to day 19, I continued my exploration into a brand new part of the world that I'd never seen before, the Great Lake Isles. As I crawled around this breathtaking new biome, I came across an abandoned book that contained information about the destruction spell that Necromancer Bryce had cast. The spell of destruction cast by a Necromancer must be confirmed with the sacrifice of an ice spider. For this reason, an ice spider that survives the casting of the spell can prevent the destruction of the world by being at the center of a spell of life, which is made to protect the world. I wasn't sure exactly what that meant, but it sounded like there was a way to turn the tide of destruction. I excitedly began to leave the Great Lake Isles when some more skeleton vanguards ambushed me to try and get me to be sacrificed.
Spider of Ice! Spider of Ice! The time has come for...
Yeah, sacrifice. You creeps must have followed me from the mountains. I used my iron sword and I pelted the mobs with ice blasts until they were all destroyed. From day 20 to day 22, I realized that my powers were far stronger now that I had grown into a bigger ice spider. I tested my mettle against some specters in the glowing ancient forest, chopping them down with my iron sword. They weren't that difficult to defeat, but the fact that they were here meant that bad omens were on the horizon. Dead becoming more common could be a sign of world destruction being on its way. I did some more mining for iron in the base cavern and grabbed enough ore to make the ingots for an iron chestplate. Now that I'm this much stronger, I bet I could stand up to the Icy Creeper. I returned to the Icy Creeper's lair in the Gravelly Mountains to confront the mob with my new abilities and gear.
Have you learned how cold the world is yet, Zozo?
No, I have learned that the world has good people in it that don't deserve to be frozen or destroyed. I fired my icy blast at the Icy Creeper, and this time, I was the one dealing damage. I had become a colder, more powerful being. Never freeze the gorilla or anyone else ever again.
All right, Zozo, I give. I'll be nice.
The Icy Creeper ran away, never to be mean again and never to be seen again. Upon driving away from that other ice mob, I saw a flashback to Bryce as a younger necromancer, just learning his first spells.
The world is a cold and cruel place. I know. I'll destroy it so nobody has to live in a cold, cruel world.
Guess he was similar to the Icy Creeper in a couple of ways. If only he knew that the world wasn't as cold and cruel as he thought it was. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the base, feeling victorious. I made a beeline for the gorilla to give him the good news. I taught that Icy Creeper a lesson he won't forget anytime soon. I promise you that you won't be having any trouble with him now.
Wow, you are one heroic ice spider, Zozo. I'm really checking my prejudices right now. Also, I made you a gift. In case you didn't notice it on the way in, I made a perimeter wall to defend the base.
Somehow, I totally had missed the perimeter wall. It was awesome and would do a great job at repelling the roving hordes of the undead. The base is well defended. Maybe now it's time to make sure my body is better defended. I went back to the mining cavern and collected up some more iron ore that I then took back to my base and smelted into iron ingots. I used these to make the rest of my armor set. You may not be able to see the armor on me, but believe me, it's there. From day 27 to day 31, I returned to the Great Lake Isles, wanting to make sure that I'd wiped out the Skeleton Vanguard Scourge completely. The more territory I can take back from the Necromancer Bryce, the less power and resources he has to complete his dark ritual. And it seems like my earlier work had paid off, because I couldn't see a Skeleton Vanguard anywhere. Instead, what I found was a large and smart-looking golem.
Hello there, good sir. Say, I've heard quite a bit about a certain ice spider lately. Your name wouldn't happen to be Zozo, would it?
That depends. What would you do if I was Zozo?
I'd congratulate you. I'm the librarian golem. I travel across the overworld, giving books to those who need them. And the skeleton vanguards working for that blasted necromancer had gotten in the way of my very important mission for far too long. If you are Zozo, then you are responsible for many needy people getting the books they so crave.
Well, in that case, I am Zozo. Why don't you come back to my base with me? You seem like you'd be a valuable ally.
Of course, as long as there's a place where I can read.
I returned to my base with the librarian golem and constructed a new room for him to sleep in. After completing it, I realized how dull and drab the base looked. It needed a personal touch. I harvested some wool from my sheep farm and turned them into a bunch of cool banners that I hung up around the different buildings of my base. Looking snazzy! But my joy was short-lived, as Illusioner Alan ran in with frantic news.
Zozo, you need to come with me immediately. Windcaller Wendy is under attack.
From day 32 to day 35, Illusioner Alan and I ran as fast as we could to reach the campfire in the glowing ancient forest where the Windcaller liked to hang out. But by the time we arrived, it was already too late. A vicious gang of skeleton vanguards had already outnumbered and destroyed him. No!
We serve our master well. Everyone who attempts to defend you will be destroyed, Zozo. Nobody will stand in the way of your sacrifice. We will destroy this entire world.
Not if I have anything to say about it! Powered by pure rage, I went in there with all my weapons and powers and wiped out every single one of the skeleton vanguards. In the end, all that was left was myself and Illusioner Alan.
This is bad, Zozo. The Windcaller was a powerful mage and an asset to our operation. Now that she is gone, the danger grows significantly.
But we can't give up, Alan. If we give up, then nobody will stop Necromancer Bryce. We need to fight back against him with everything we have. From day 36 to day 39, I went out to the Gravelly Mountains to wander around and collect my thoughts. I was afraid about everything that had happened, but I couldn't show it in front of everyone who was working for me. Necromancer Bryce and his men are way more dangerous than I thought. My thoughts were interrupted when I ran into an incredibly strange creature, a melon golem, which I didn't even know was a thing.
What? You never see a melon golem before? You don't like melons or something?
No, I love melons. I've just never seen a melon golem before. I'm sorry if I've upset you. If you have a favor you need doing, I'd be happy to see to it and give you a hand.
Well, now that you mention it, there was an obsidian golem who was giving me some real trouble. Would you mind taking care of him before he hurts me or anyone else?
Of course, I'll get right to it. I turned on my invisibility powers and used it to search through the Gravelly Mountains until I discovered the obsidian golem. I used the element of surprise and approached him from behind, attacking him with everything I had. In the end, I managed to defeat him after a tough battle. Then I returned to the melon golem and told him that his bully was gone.
Hey, that's great news! I used to be able to trust the other golems, but a lot of them defected to the Necromancer Bryce, because most of them are hardy enough to survive the cold.
So some golems are working with the Necromancer now? That's not good news.
You point out the obvious a lot, you know.
From day 40 to day 43, I returned back to my base, pleasantly surprised by some improvements that Illusioner Alan had made to the base.
Zozo, I've made very good friends with the librarian golem. He's a wonderful chap, and we've been doing lots of discussions around the arcane arts. So I installed a sizable collection of bookshelves and couches so he can really enjoy himself here.
It's incredibly wholesome that you two have become such good friends.
And he's not the only friend I'd like to stay here. I improved the base by adding a barracks, so I could invite more of my Illusioner friends. The more mages we have at the base, the easier it will be to defend you from the Necromancer.
That sounds like a good idea to me, Alan. Not long after, a small group of other Illusioners arrived, and I greeted them and escorted them to their rooms. Not long after, the librarian golem approached me with a new quest.
Zozo! As you may have heard on the grapevine, or perhaps the melon vine, some golems defected from the overworld and joined up with that dastardly necromancer. Two in particular are the Endstone Golem and the Netherite Golem out in the Great Lake Isles. Perhaps, if you're able to defeat him, it will weaken the necromancer's power in another territory.
That's an awesome idea, Librarian Golem. I'll set off immediately. From day 44 to day 49, I set off into the Great Lake Isles to find one of the evil golems that had been working for Necromancer Bryce. I want to reduce the power of the Necromancer's spell in whatever way that I can. I thought I saw the glow of magic from one of the islands and made a stealthy approach. To my surprise, it wasn't an Endstone Golem at all, but Necromancer Bryce himself. He was muttering something, so I got closer to hear what it was.
This pathetic world does not deserve mercy. It only deserves cold destruction, and my spell will be that destruction. Soon, the hastening will be upon us.
Couldn't let him stand there and say such terrible things. Take that back, you dastardly necromancer!
Oh, it's you. You're the ice spider that dares to defy me. It seems my undead have thus far been unable to sacrifice you.
Why do you need to sacrifice me so badly anyway? What's in it for you if the entire world is destroyed?
Destroying the entire world is a thankless job, but somebody has to do it. Anyway, I've got a brand new caliber of minion now. Prepare to meet my netherite golem.
The Necromancer Bryce vanished into a cloud of magical smoke, and in his place, a netherite golem rose to its full towering height.
Greetings. I am the Netherite Golem, and I will be sacrificing today.
The other golems told me that baddies like you were bad news. Put up your big netherite dukes, and let's have a good clean fight, said the spider to the golem. I ice blasted my opponent and scurried around, avoiding his attacks. I used my invisibility to sneak in close and attack with my iron sword. The netherite golem was very strong, and he managed to hit me a couple times, dealing many hearts of damage. And I had hearts to spare now, and this fight was far from over. From day 50 to day 53, we briefly stopped to talk.
You're going to be sacrificed, Ice Spider. I'm going to crack you like ice, and then squash you like a spider.
Oh yeah? Well, you're a netherite golem, and never mind, I can't think of anything. I fired off a couple of ice blasts, then I used my iron sword to hit the netherite golem. With one more ice blast, I froze the netherite golem and brought the fight to a close with a sword strike. The netherite golem dispersed, leaving behind some mystical diamonds, which were stronger than any material I had gathered thus far. I better hang on to these so I can make a powerful tool out of these diamonds later. With the netherite golem defeated, I felt some of Necromancer Bryce's magic leaving the Great Lake Isles. From day 54 to day 57, I found the other evil golem that had chosen to serve Necromancer Bryce, the Endstone Golem, the exact golem that the library golem had sent me out to fight. This mean Endstone fighting machine was just as tough as the netherite golem I had fought before, so I knew I had to use similar strategies to take it down. Ice Spider Zozo, Golem Slayer! My invisibility proved to be a great way of avoiding attacks, and a mixture of Ice Blast and Iron Sword attacks sealed the deal! Both of the Golem defectors have been defeated now. I can feel the Great Lake Isles are peaceful now. I returned to my base in the glowing ancient forest so that I could tell the tale of my victory to the library golem.
Well done, Ice Spider Zozo. Without his golems, Necromancer Bryce has lost a major facet of his evil forces. The destruction of the entire world is that much closer to being avoided.
I'm just doing my part to stop the spell.
In anticipation of your return, I did some research into the original spellbooks that contain the destruction spell. It says that the ice spider needed for the spell must come from the Ice Spikes biome. Have you ever been there before, Zozo?
Not that I can recall, but if it's my homeland, maybe I can learn something more about the spell by going there someday. From day 58 to day 62, I used the mystical diamonds that had been dropped by the netherite golem to make myself a diamond sword. Once crafted, the librarian gave me a Frostwalker enchantment book to enchant my new diamond sword with frost. What a neat enchantment, and very fitting for an ice spider. I guess magic comes naturally to me. Because of my new sword, I was inspired to seek out more diamonds down in the mine. Using my iron pickaxe, I dredged up a few more diamonds and made myself a diamond pickaxe. I decided that was enough mining for now, and I came back to see that the living area looked much nicer, and there was even a brand new fireplace. Illusioner Alan was standing by the fireplace, feeling its warmth. It looks amazing here. Is this an illusion?
I'm always telling you, Zozo, magic can't do everything. These changes to the base are 100% real.
Wow, thanks, Alan.
Building this base was such a great idea. I really like living here, so I'm glad I could make it better for everyone. From day 63 to day 66, I was doing some more diamond mining when the gorilla who lives in my base came to visit me.
Hey, Zozo, the librarian golem told me that you're originally from the Ice Spikes. I actually know how to get there.
You do? Well, that's great. I have been meaning to take a trip out there at some point.
I'll give you the directions. Maybe you'll find out if you've got any family out there.
Following the gorilla's directions, I made my way to the ice spikes. I didn't see any ice spiders, but maybe I would meet a friendly face if I looked around. But the first face I saw didn't appear to be that friendly. It was a mountaineer with a wicked gleam in his eyes. I'm warning you, buddy. You don't want to mess with this ice spider. I have the home field advantage.
I don't want to fight you. This gleam in my eye is the gleam of adventure. I'm Mountaineer Monty, and I'm looking to climb the tallest peak in the Ice Spikes.
The tallest peak? I bet I could see everything from up there. Count me in.
Perfect! With an ice spider helping me up, I'll be able to get to the top of the tallest peak in no time.
From day 67 to day 70, I joined Mountaineer Monty, and we both climbed around on the ice spikes together, searching for the tallest peak. How will we know if the ice spike that we're climbing is the tallest or not, Monty?
We won't know until we get to the top. Keep on crawling on these walls, Ice Spider.
We went higher and higher until we found a ledge on the side of an even taller peak. Could this be the one? That's when a leaf leaf jumped down from the upper ledges and started to attack. I fired an ice blast at the mob, but it dodged away. This leaf leaf was faster than I expected, so I'd have to outsmart it. I turned invisible and waited for the leaf leaf to land on the ground. I dashed in and hit it with my diamond sword, dealing a bunch of damage. The moment it jumped, I fired an ice blast directly at it, defeating it for good. Mountaineer Monty was impressed with my win.
That was great! And also leaf leaves only live on the tallest peak, so we must be there.
Let's keep on climbing so we can find out. Within a few minutes, we had risen to the top of the entire Ice Spikes biome. This was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen in all my days as an ice spider.
Thank you for being here with me.
Down below, I saw what looked like the lair of a necromancer, a wicked and terrible base. Necromancer Bryce must be here in the Ice Spikes. Did he find me here? From day 71 to day 74, I descended the peak of the tallest mountain and began to travel through the ice spikes in the direction of the evil lair. I never expected my history with Bryce would go back so far. I need to find out why his lair is here, what happened to the other ice spiders, and of course, how I can save the world from destruction. And if you want to help me save the world, remember to search Zozo to find more of my adventures. Make sure to tell me what you want me to play as next. Down at the base of the mountain, I wandered through a snowy blizzard, only to be confronted by Necromancer Bryce.
You've returned home, Ice Spider Zozo, but it's not your home anymore. It's my home, and soon there will be nobody home in the entire world.
Your destruction spell will never work, Bryce. Not as long as I survive without being sacrificed. I drew my sword and turned invisible, waiting for an opportunity to strike. Necromancer Bryce only laughed. He was not threatened by me at all.
Foolish Zozo! You don't understand what it means that I am here in the Ice Spikes. It means that I've already sacrificed another ice spider. My spell is secure.
I froze in place, not from the cold, but from the shock of what Bryce had said. No, you already sacrificed an ice spider, you evil monster! Bryce turned toward the spell and blasted me with a powerful spell that took off almost all of my heart. He was about to fire off another, so I ran away as fast as I could. From day 75 to day 78, I scurried back to the base and immediately shut myself away in the coldest room of the base. I had failed. The whole point of going to the Ice Spikes was to learn more about my origin. But now, I had learned something that made me feel completely hopeless. The entire world really was going to be destroyed, and there was nothing I could do to stop it.
Never say never, Zozo.
It was the librarian golem. They had come to visit me in my time of regret. But all of the other ice spiders are gone. Necromancer Bryce sacrificed them.
I don't think that's exactly what has happened, Zozo. Bryce was trying to catch you off guard so he could sacrifice you. He still needs you for his place, and when he comes for you, we'll be ready.
The librarian golem showed me a watchtower that had been installed on the base. It would be an ideal countermeasure to any intruding undead sent by Bryce. Thanks, library golem. And you're right, the world isn't doomed yet. Later on, I consulted Illusioner Alan to see what magical spells he had been working on during my travels.
Zozo, I have used all of my magic to create this Kytha. It is a weapon that will make you unstoppable in battle.
Thank you. That's exactly what I need. The moment I took the Kyther, I felt a great surge of power within me. I grew into the ultimate Ice Spider, the true king of the ice spikes. I had 100 hearts and the ability to warp short distances, combining that ability with my invisibility to really catch enemies off guard. From day 79 to day 84, I made my way back to the ice spikes, trusting that the transformation brought on by Illusioner Allen's spell would give me the ultimate power, and that the library golem wasn't wrong about there being more to learn about my past. In my mighty ice spider form, nothing in the ice spikes could rival my strength. Some specters tried to swoop down and challenge me, but I effortlessly destroyed them with my ice blast. I traveled some more through the cold biome of the ice spikes, eventually finding an Iceologer native to this region. Hello there, Iceologer.
Please, call me Iceologer Ike. It's quite nice to meet a spider of ice. There used to be a lot more of you protecting the ice spikes.
So I've heard. That was before the necromancer sacrificed them.
Oh, there was no sacrifice. Your ancestors fought against him bravely, down to the last spider. I kept one of their helmets too. You should have it.
Ike gave me a diamond helmet, which I proudly equipped. I guess there really was more to the story than I thought. From day 85 to day 89, my base was attacked by the skeleton vanguard. I arrived just in time to fend them off with weapons and ice blasts.
Spider of ice, spider of ice, the time has come for sacrifice.
Ha! That confirms it! You still need a sacrifice, and I'm the last spider standing. You'll never take me out. With the confidence I had developed in my ultimate ice spider form, I demolished the skeleton vanguard one by one, until the last of them went running back to the ice spikes.
Spider of ice, your sacrifice will now be done by Necromancer Bryce.
I'd like to see him try. I chased the skeleton vanguard to the edge of my base, where he kept running onward. It was there that I met a fungus thrower, who was standing next to a dugout pool of water.
Oh, please, Ice Spider Zozo. My swimming pool is way too warm. Can you provide an ice blast to cool it off?
Why, certainly, my fungus-throwing friend. I shot the pool with an ice blast, freezing it over. Oops, sorry, now it's more of an ice rink.
No, I like this better. I'll call my friends and we'll play some hockey.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed the skeleton vanguard through the ice spikes, all the way to the necropolis where Necromancer Bryce would be waiting for me.
Bryce, we need your advice.
As the skeleton vanguard approached the necropolis, it was obliterated by an attack from an armored pillager.
Never send a skeleton to do my job.
And what is your job?
Killing spiders by the dozen. Me and the rest of my pillager crew fought the ice spiders in this area back when they dared to defy Necromancer Bryce.
You mean that it was you who wiped out all the rest of the ice spiders, and you're working for Bryce? I'm going to freeze on you! I fired several ice blasts, but the armored pillager tanked them all and hit me with the same powerful attack they'd used to destroy the skeleton vanguard. It dealt a decent amount of damage, so I warped away to avoid taking more.
I faced many ice spiders just as big as you.
But you've never faced me! Gathering my courage, I warped back and swung my diamond sword into the armored pillager, returning the damage I took and then some. From day 95 to day 97, the armored pillager still wouldn't let up, and I was starting to see that his claims of taking down all the other ice spiders wasn't all talk. My ice blasts weren't very effective, so I mostly relied on my sword strikes to deal damage. My warp and invisibility powers helped me dodge most of the armored pillager's attacks so that I could hold onto my hearts.
Why can't you let me crush you like those other worthless ice spiders?
It's time you learned that those lives you trampled were never worthless. I warped all around the armored pillager and barraged him with sword attacks until he collapsed at long last.
Darn it, you have beaten me. Truth is, you spiders fought very well. I was the only survivor among the pillagers.
If you lost everyone too, why are you being such a mean guy about it? We could have talked this out.
Necromancer Bryce was going to destroy the world anyway. We thought we had to listen to him, or he'd destroy us first. That Bryce is ruthless beyond anything you've seen. After he hired his pillagers to wipe out the spiders, he had them save one remaining ice spider egg, so that he could use the ice spider that hatched for his destruction spell. That ice spider must have been you.
The armored pillager died, leaving behind a key to the lair. At that moment, I realized I had avenged my people. Well, almost. Bryce stole me away, planned to use me for his spell, and destroy the world I've only now come to know. I will stop him! On day 98, I returned to the base to heal my injuries from the battle with the armored pillager. So much had happened since I started my journey, and we were only a couple days from the day that the destruction spell would end the world. But the words that carried me all this way still rang in my ears. As long as I survive, it isn't over. I spoke to the librarian golem, who was also hopeful about our chances of stopping the destruction spell.
No sacrifice was made, and if you defeat Bryce, he'll never be able to cast another destruction spell. This could be your chance to save the entire world.
I will do it, for the world and for all the ice spiders that fought bravely against him. I wanted to make sure the powers of my magically induced final form were stable, so I went to Illusioner Alan to confirm. Your magical Kyther seems to be working, Alan.
Oh, Zozo, what have I always said? Magic can't do everything. You took that form on your own. My great illusion was convincing you that my weapon was the reason.
Wow, I didn't expect that. You truly are a skilled illusioner, Alan. But I didn't leave the base without any new gear. The gorilla made sure I had full diamond armor for the battle with Necromancer Bryce.
You're a hero, Ice Spider Zozo. I really wish I could have met more ice spiders.
As long as there's a world, there's a way. I'll make sure the world is safe after I stop Bryce.
Go get that evil creep. Remember the path I showed you through the Gravelly Mountains.
On day 99, I was traveling through the Gravelly Mountains toward the ice spikes on my way to the showdown with Necromancer Bryce. I was intercepted by a whole bunch of skeleton vanguards who seemed really eager to sacrifice me as always. Bryce really rolled out the welcome mat early, huh?
Spider of ice, spider of ice, must we say it thrice? It has to be time for your sacrifice.
Even though my strength, my hearts, my gear, and my magic all surpassed theirs, the skeleton vanguards descended on me in great numbers. They're slowing me down. I won't be able to reach Bryce by the day of destruction. I had to retreat as quickly as I could. That's when I ran into the Mountaineer, and he wanted to fight those nasty skeletons for me so I could take down the big boss who started it all.
Go on now, Ice Spider. We climbed the tallest peak together. Now face your greatest challenge with pride.
On day 100, I used the key to the lair and entered the inner sanctum of Necromancer Bryce.
The day of destruction is at hand, and here you are, allowing yourself to be sacrificed.
There will be no sacrifice and no destruction. We traded a series of blasts, his Necromancy Blast and my Ice Blast. We each took a bit of damage, then I turned invisible. You crushed my people, but I'm taking back the ice spikes and the entire world from your evil.
You would fight to protect a world that took away your family?
The world didn't do that, Necromancer Bryce. That was you! I reappeared and attacked his blind spot with my diamond sword. He began charging up his most powerful spell yet. It was the same spell he almost defeated me with the last time we fought. Necromancer Bryce let the spell of doom fly at me. I waited until the very last second, then I used my warp ability to move out of the way and appear right behind him. You missed me, and now it's over for you. I swung my diamond sword repeatedly with all my might, destroying the Necromancer before he could destroy anything else. This world would live on, and so would I. On day 1, I spawned into the frozen lakes as an Ice Witherstorm. Whoa, even as a baby Ice Witherstorm, I'm pretty awesome. And thank goodness, because I don't feel cold out here either. But my celebrations were interrupted when I heard the flapping of mighty wings coming towards me. I looked up and saw a huge ice dragon floating in the air above me.
You!
Me?
Don't be funny with me, boyo. What's your name?
I'm Zozo, mister.
I'm Ivan the Ice Dragon, and that means ice is my thing. You think you can steal my thing, you wee little Witherstorm? I'll teach you what it means to be truly ice cold.
Ivan fired a huge ice blast down towards me. It nearly hit me, but I was lucky enough to dodge at the last second. Hey, you almost hit me.
Yeah, that's what we in the business call a warning shot, dummy. The next one will come when you least expect it. You want to keep the icy cred? You've got 100 days to earn it, or frostbite is gonna be the least of your worries.
He unleashed an even more powerful ice blast, and this time I just had to run for my life. Gotta beat Ivan, or he's gonna freeze me to my doom. On day 2, I wandered further across the frozen lakes. In weather this freezing, even I started to feel the cold. This is so embarrassing for an Ice Witherstorm. Maybe I just need some food. I only have 10 hearts. It's important to keep my hunger bar filled up. I searched across the frozen lakes until I finally found an apple tree. It's not easy to grow food in a place this cold, so I needed to enjoy everything I could get. I broke down the tree and ate some of the apples, solving the hunger situation. But it didn't solve the situation of a dread thrall charging out of the distance.
Huh, enjoy those apples, you little baby. That's such a baby thing to do. Eat apples.
Is it? I'm not sure I follow your logic here.
It makes sense when you're a dread thrall, okay? It's like a cultural thing. Anyways, let's fight. Ivan told me that a Witherstorm was trying to jack his style. I owe it to him to put you down.
The dread thrall ran at me and unleashed some powerful attacks. I wasn't strong enough to fight him yet, so all I could do was break away from the fight and run for my life. I got out of there as fast as I could, but as I cowered behind a pile of snow, I heard something approaching. I was terrified, worried that it could be the dread thrall. Instead, a Cyclops stepped out.
Come with me if you want to live.
How could I deny an offer like that? On day 3, the Cyclops led me across a safe part of the frozen lakes, telling me to keep as quiet as possible.
You need to keep a low profile around here if you want to last. Ivan's dread thralls are all over the place.
Where are you taking me?
Shh, somewhere safe. That's all you need to know.
I kept quiet as the Cyclops led me. Then he suddenly stopped.
This is as far as I'll go. It's too dangerous for us all to be in one place. Go forward 50 paces and you'll see a dodo hippogriff at a campfire. Speak to him and then come back to me when you're done.
Okay, understood. I followed the Cyclops' instructions until, predictably, I found myself at the campfire where the dodo hippogriff was waiting.
He sent you. Good. You follow orders. You might have a better chance of surviving than the last one.
Wait, what do you mean, the last one?
You think you're the first Ice Witherstorm to spawn here? There have been many, and Ivan has destroyed them all out of his evil jealousy.
But if he's after Ice Witherstorms, why are you and that Cyclops guy so afraid of him and his goons?
Your people have the worst of it, but Ivan is a nightmare for all of us. Anyone who bruises his ego gets destroyed. We want him gone, and with our powers combined, we can make it happen.
What do I need to do?
Go with Cyclops. Train. Get stronger. If he finds you this threatening now, imagine what you can do when you reach full power.
From day 4 to day 5, I carried out the dodo hippogriff's wishes and left with the Cyclops. I knew that if I was going to survive this, I needed to put a roof over both of our heads. Sit tight, Cyclops. I'm gonna make us some tools and get started. I knocked down a tree with my Witherstorm strength and made the pieces into a wooden pickaxe. From there, I mined into the ground and collected some stone. I had to be careful where I mined and built because some areas were just a thin layer of ice over water. When I had enough stone, I built myself a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. With my spare stone, I started building a basic 2-room base to protect myself and Cyclops from the elements.
This is a good start, Zozo. Solid, but low-key. This won't attract any undue attention.
Thank you, I think. But it may not have been that low-key. All that building had attracted a dangerous dirt scorpion a long way away from home. As it attacked, this time I fought back until the dirt scorpion was defeated. This gave me the XP to level up, getting 30 hearts and a new power, Ice Blast. Now I can finally start living up to my Ice Witherstorm name. From day 6 to day 8, I left the Cyclops back at the base while I went out to explore a nearby frosty mountain range called the Alps. Wow, the air is very thin up here. I probably wouldn't make a habit of hanging out up here. But my thoughts were interrupted by an adorable orange and white kitty running up towards me.
Please, stranger, I need some help. There's something terrible happening back there.
Calm down, calm down. What's going on here, kitty?
A dread scuttler. It's horrible, and it was chasing after me. I was so scared.
Don't worry, kitty. You just hang back here, and I'll go take care of it.
Thank you, stranger. Thank you.
Please, call me Zozo. I braced myself and went off in the direction that the kitty came from. It didn't take me long to find the dread scuttler, and with the help of my ice blast and my stone sword, it didn't take long for me to beat it either. Afterwards, the kitty approached me, happy that I'd taken care of the nasty dread scuttler.
Zozo, that was amazing. You're the best.
Please, it was nothing.
Well, if it was so easy, maybe you'll help me take care of a dreadlich not far from here. He's been causing a lot of trouble.
Sure, I'll always do my best. From day 9 to day 10, I followed Kitty's instructions and went further into the Alps. That's where I found the dreadlich waiting.
So, you're the one who destroyed my dread scuttler. Do you have any idea how hard those are to summon? I'll make you pay for this, you wretched little Ice WITHERSTORM.
Talk is cheap, Dreadlich. Let's duke it out. But it didn't take me long to regret being so gung-ho. The Dreadlich was way tougher than I thought. He tanked my attacks and returned with some magical attacks of his own. My only option was to run away and survive to fight another day. I met with Kitty again and told her the bad news.
Don't beat yourself up, Zozo. You tried your best, and you did an amazing job getting rid of the Dread Scuttler.
And I'm gonna take care of the Dreadlich too, but I need to get stronger first. Why don't you come and stay at my base in the frozen lakes? It'll probably be safer there.
That's a very generous offer, Zozo, and I think I'll take you up on it.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with Kitty and quickly set about building a new room in my base for her to stay. I made sure it was the kind of room that'd be really cozy for a cute little kitty. What do you think, Kitty?
I think you did an amazing job, Zozo. So amazing, in fact, that I made a few base upgrades of my own to repay you.
And Kitty certainly had made some awesome upgrades. She created a sheep farm full of, yep, you guessed it, sheep. She'd also created a furnace and a storage room. Are you implying I should go and forge myself some new weapons, Kitty?
Nothing gets past you, Zozo.
I searched until I found a decent cavern for mining, and searched until I found a healthy vein of iron ore. I dug up the ore and took it back to my base with me. There, I used the furnace Kitty built to smelt my ore into iron ingots. And with those and some sticks, I made myself an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. Now I'm stronger than ever before. That's what I'm talking about. From day 13 to day 15, I spoke to the Cyclops again, asking if he had any advice on how to get strong enough to defeat Ivan the Ice Dragon.
Well, what have you fought so far?
I've fought a lot of things.
Fought and beat, I mean.
Oh, a dirt scorpion and a dread scuttler.
You're gonna need to fight stronger things than big bugs if you want to really level up, Zozo. Go back to the Alps and find something worth defeating there. Only true challenge will help you grow your skills.
Great advice, Cyclops. Following his advice, I went back to the Alps. Even making my way up there was exhausting. This was going to be more challenging than I thought.
Hey, if it isn't the big, goofy, apple-eating baby. I knew I'd find you eventually, and now you're doomed.
It was the same Dread Thrall who'd hassled me earlier, but this time I wasn't going to talk to him. I was going to fight him, and I was going to win. With a combination of ice blasts and lethal strikes from my iron sword, the Dread Thrall was vanquished, and I picked up a healing potion he dropped. Once I'd swigged it down, I started to transform. I got bigger, stronger, I had 60 hearts, and a new ability, shooting with a Wither Skull. Half ice, half Witherstorm. My power is really coming along. From day 16 to day 19, I went from the mountains of the Alps to the even higher frozen peaks. If getting challenged makes you tougher, I'm gonna be as tough as one of these mountains soon. During my journey, I happened upon a book laying on the ground. Its title read, Dread Thrall's Diary. Well, this seems like essential reading. There was a section that read, Ivan's been such a drag since that Ice WITHERSTORM turned up. He's so paranoid and stuck in his own head. He started staying in that base in the eroded Badlands. What kind of ice dragon hangs out in the Badlands? It's way too hot there. He's staying in the eroded Badlands? That's really useful information. I looked up and saw another Dread Thrall standing a few feet from me.
Hey, that's my diary, you jerk! Oh!
Before he said another word, I blasted the Dread Thrall with a powerful Wither Skull, and he was no more. From day 20 to day 22, while heading back from the frozen peaks, I wiped out a small but vicious gang of coyotes. It feels good to be so powerful. I think I've earned myself a treat. I returned to my favorite mining cavern and collected a few extra chunks of iron ore. Then I returned to my base and used the furnace to smelt them into iron ingots. From that, I built myself an iron chestplate and equipped it. You probably can't see it in all my Witherstorm swirls, but it feels good to know it's there. With my new power and new armor, I felt the confidence to go back and settle an old score. I returned to the Alps, where I saw the Dreadlich waiting.
Ready for me to hand you your Ice WITHERSTORM Heiny, eh, Zozo?
I'd like to see you try, Dreadlich. This time, it was a much more even fight. With my Wither Skulls and Ice Blast, this time I put him down for good. Kitty is gonna be so pleased when I tell her. Suddenly, a chill went down my already chilly Ice WITHERSTORM spine. I heard the great flapping of wings in the sky above and saw Ivan the ice dragon coming towards me.
Oh, there you are, you little plagiarist! You lazy copycat! I'm gonna be the only ice being out here!
As strong as I'd gotten, I still wasn't tough enough to take on Ivan yet. I did the only thing I could and ran. From day 23 to day 26, I made it safely back to my base and rushed to tell Kitty the good news. Hey Kitty, remember that dreadlich you were having trouble with?
You mean the one you were having trouble with, Zozo?
Well, those troubles are over. I defeated him.
Perfect! Nicely done, Zozo!
I didn't want to rest on my victory for too long. After all, I had only just narrowly escaped from Ivan. I still needed to get much stronger if I was going to take him down for good. I decided to venture back to the mines and have another shot at gathering up some more iron ore. Luckily for me, there was plenty to be found in another vein underground, and I hacked away with my pickaxe. Once I had gathered up enough ore, I smelted it into some shiny new iron ingots. I had plenty to smith myself an iron helmet and sturdy pair of iron boots to match my chest piece. Now, I was fully protected.
Zozo, come have a look!
What's new, Kitty Cat? Whoa! Kitty had been working on an upgrade to my base as a way of saying thank you for helping her out. She'd built a brand new perimeter wall to keep danger at bay. Now I wasn't the only one with added protection. My base and my friends were too. From day 27 to day 31, I headed back to the frozen peaks. Now that a few of the dread thralls and that pesky dread lich were taken care of, it was a bit safer for me to explore the area. Although, I had my guard up when I spotted a mighty behemoth. But was he a friend or foe?
Relax, little Ice WITHERSTORM. Take a chill pill.
Sorry, I can't be too careful with Ivan and his dread horde around.
Oh, that buzzkill. Yeah, I can imagine he would have given an icicle like you a really icy reception.
Are you gonna keep making jokes like that all day?
Sorry, man. I'm just feeling pretty good since you took out all those dread thralls. It's made things around here way cooler. But you know there's still plenty of Ivan's minions around, right?
You're right, and it's not safe for you here, Behemoth. Head back to my base with me.
Sweet! You're a pretty chilled guy, Zozo.
I made my way back to the base with the behemoth. Once we had returned, I was able to grab some wool from the flock of sheep in the pen and use that wool to make some nice decorative banners that really livened the place up. Once the decorating work was done, the Cyclops ran over in a panic.
Zozo, come quickly. I need your help. There's another challenge that might help build your strengths.
Then lead the way. From day 32 to day 35, my Cyclops friend and mentor took me towards the frozen lakes where we came across a sight that even made my Ice WITHERSTORM self shiver. A swarm of Ivan the Ice Dragon's dread thralls were chasing after Dodo the Hippogriff.
Zozo, help! It's Ivan. He's found me. He's on to us.
I leapt into battle, swinging my iron sword to chop down some of the dread thralls. I let off an ice blast, then another attack, my wither skull blast. I was desperately trying to clear a path to reach the Dodo Hippogriff, but there were just too many dread thralls in the way. No! The dread thralls destroyed the Dodo Hippogriff. I slashed my sword at them, taking down each and every one of them, until not a single thrall was left standing. But I was still too late. From day 36 to day 39, I decided to wander off on my own for a little while. I needed to clear my head and be alone with my thoughts. I hadn't known the Dodo Hippogriff all that long, but I was still sad I couldn't save him. He'd had a lot of faith in me being able to take on Ivan, so I figured maybe my sadness was a reminder that I couldn't take his wisdom for granted. I had to make sure I lived up to the Dodo Hippogriff's expectations. On my travels, I encountered a cactoid in the Alps.
Oh, my. Will you please help me? I'm being pursued by a beastly creature.
Sure thing. Just point me at the nasty critter, and it's as good as gone. The cactoid led me to the creature that had been coming after him, a horrible hellhound. I grabbed my sword and readied for a fight. After all, the Dodo Hippogriff had told me the path to victory was getting stronger, and any battle was a chance to improve. I took down the hellhound with little effort and went back to the cactoid to tell him the good news.
Oh my, thank you, kind, chilly stranger. I've seen Ivan's minions on the move more and more lately. His ego must have been pricked something fierce.
Yeah, that dragon really is vain. He took out one of my friends just to get at me.
Well, he wants to be the only ice creature around. I imagine he feels threatened by you.
Take it from a guy covered in spines. Some people only act tough on the outside to protect themselves on the inside.
From day 40 to day 43, I decided it was time to rejoin my friends back at the base. The Cyclops and I had parted briefly after we lost the Dodo Hippogriff, but I thought about what he'd said before. Only with our powers combined could we take down Ivan.
Hey there, Zozo. Glad to see you're back. Don't worry, I've been keeping an eye out while you were gone.
Thanks, Cyclops. Say, this place looks a little different.
Well, I wasn't gonna just sit around on my hands. Have a look around.
The Cyclops had worked really hard at making the base more homely, just the thing I needed to lift my spirits after losing the Dodo Hippogriff. He'd built plenty of new bookshelves and even a few comfy couches. You know, Cyclops, it's not like we can sit on more than one of these couches at a time.
About that, Zozo, I was wondering if I could invite some guests. There are more Cyclopses like me who have had it up to their eye with Ivan. Would you mind if they came to stay?
Not at all. The more, the merrier. After the other Cyclopses came in and found their places, the Behemoth came over to talk to me.
Say, Zozo, when you've got a moment, I also have a favor to ask you.
From day 44 to day 49, I set off from my base to carry out a quest that my friend the Behemoth had given me. He said that there was a silver Lobo hiding somewhere in the frozen peaks, and that he had some useful info that would help me taking down Ivan, if I could take him down, that is. But while I was beginning my search, I heard the flap of two icy wings and had to leap out of the way as Ivan arrived, swooping in for an ambush.
There you are! I thought you would have given up after my dread thralls killed your poor friend, the Dodo Hippogriff. You know, he'd still be alive if you had just turned yourself over and let me destroy you, little Witherstorm.
What's your problem, Ivan? You're really going out of your way to try and stop me from getting stronger. Seems like you might be a little insecure.
You're a pest. Nothing more than a chilly breeze. I'm an ice dragon. I should be the master of the freezing cold. I'll unleash a whole new ice age on this world. An endless deep freeze. But as long as you're around, you're in my way. So let's see if we can't fix that little problem.
Suddenly, a monstrous reaver burst out of nowhere and came charging towards me. Ivan had already flapped away, leaving his minion to take me on. This creature might be my toughest fight yet. From day 50 to day 53, I got to fighting the Reaver. This thing was one of the most powerful mobs I'd ever seen. It was all brute strength and rage. I deflected its blows with my iron sword, the occasional hit knocking into my armor and causing me a little damage. I'd need to keep my cool if I was going to defeat this monster. Wait, that's it! I blasted the Reaver with my Ice Blast. While the icy attack didn't freeze it completely, it did slow down the beast's attacks. I could dodge out of the way of its fist a lot easier now and got around behind it to deliver the final strike with my sword. The Reaver fell. I had not only survived, but I'd beaten the creature too. But my trusty iron sword was looking a little worse for wear now. Although, much to my surprise, the Reaver dropped something that could come in real handy later on, some mystical diamonds. I'll stash these in my inventory for now, but they could make me a great replacement for my sword. As soon as I touched them, I was granted a magical vision by the mystical diamonds. They showed me a little dragon, just newly hatched. It was Ivan, as a baby. He was scared and all alone, left abandoned on the top of a frozen peak. So that's why he was such a bully. He'd felt so helpless, and now he wanted to be the strongest around to avoid that feeling, even if it meant being mean to others. From day 54 to day 57, I continued my search through the frozen peaks until I finally came upon the creature I'd been searching for, the Silver Lobo. This thing was nasty. I didn't even have a chance to negotiate or come up with a peaceful solution. It just lunged straight for me. Lucky for me, I had already tangled with a Reaver and survived, not to mention all the Dread Thralls I'd taken down. So with a few blasts of Wither Skulls, the battle was over as quick as it began. And then I saw the thing that was so handy that the Behemoth had sent me here in the first place. The Silver Lobo dropped a map. It had been tasked with guarding a location that obviously Ivan didn't want me getting to, so I grabbed the map and made the trek back to my base. I needed to speak with the Behemoth.
Hey there, Zozo. It sure is cool to see you back in one piece.
Say, Behemoth, why send me after this map?
Well, I figured you should go to where it leads and find out for yourself.
Will I find out why Ivan wants to stop me from getting stronger?
Oh, I can tell you that. He doesn't like being the weak one, and you intimidate him. An ice dragon like him can harness the frost and the freeze, but you're cooler than cool. You're ice cold. Ice withers are made of pure frozen magic. He only wants to hold you back because he knows you could outmatch him.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to do some more work on my base now that I was back for a while. I upgraded our sheep pen, making it more spacious for the flock so they could roam around a bit easier. Then, I took a look at the map I had gotten from the Silver Lobo and started to follow it to see what all the fuss was about. It only led to a mine filled with diamonds. No wonder Ivan didn't want me finding out about this place. I got to work mining as many diamonds as I could carry and raced back to my base so I could turn them into useful items. Before long, I had a brand new diamond sword to replace my worn out old iron one, along with a new diamond pickaxe to make mining a breeze. Then, just as I was finished, my Cyclops friend came up to talk to me.
Zozo, I noticed some of my fellow Cyclopses were a little bit chilly, so I made a brand new fireplace with them. Hope that's okay.
Sure, even though the cold never bothered me anyway. I'm glad you guys can keep warm. The Cyclops and his new pals had even built a whole new comfy living area for everyone to show their appreciation for being allowed to stay in the base. I had to admit, I was pretty impressed with what they'd done with the place. From day 63 to day 66, I decided to ask around my base for some advice. I knew I still wasn't tough enough to go head-to-head with Ivan yet, but I had to do something to get back at him. And besides, the Dodo Hippogriff had made me realize that teamwork was the best way to putting a stop to Ivan's plans. Eventually, the best advice came from Kitty.
You know from that Dread Thrall's diary that Ivan has a base in the eroded Badlands, right? Well, why not go and scout the place out? You don't have to go in or try and face him. Just take a look from the outside to see what it looks like and how to get there.
Good idea! A recon mission! Thanks, Kitty!
No problem, Zozo.
I made my way to the eroded Badlands, making sure I kept to the shade as often as I could, since the Badlands were so much hotter than the frozen lakes. Even though ice witherstorms like me were pure enchanted ice, I didn't want to run the risk of melting. I was able to get a good look at Ivan's base. It was well guarded by plenty of his minions. The place was crawling with dread thralls. Getting inside was going to be tricky unless I got a lot stronger. Suddenly, I caught the sound of someone sneaking up on me. It was a siren. Oh no, I thought. One of Ivan's perimeter guards had found me. But to my surprise, she wasn't with Ivan at all.
You're an Ice Witherstorm. Then the rumors were true. Come with me. There is something I need your assistance with.
From day 67 to day 70, I followed the siren as she explained what the problem was.
One of Ivan's dread beasts drove me out of my home not far from here. It's an incredibly territorial creature, and I can't convince it to leave. I need someone to, well, not to be indelicate, but someone that can remove it.
No problem, Miss Siren. I'll handle it. Sure enough, there in a clearing sat the vicious Dread Beast. It immediately sensed the presence of an ice witherstorm in its territory, and I got ready for a fight. After all, I'd been looking for a chance to test out my new diamond sword. The snarling Dread Beast was quick, but only a little bit harder to defeat than one of the Dread Thralls. I swung my sword at the monster, and it fell, bested in combat, and now the Siren's home was free from the nasty intruder.
Oh, thank you, Zozo. I wish I could offer you more than just my gratitude, but know that should you ever need a helping hand, I will come to your aid.
Wow, thanks, Miss Siren. From day 71 to day 74, I ventured out across the eroded Badlands, trying to get a better feel for the area and see if I could come across any hidden passageways or other areas that could offer me some secret way into Ivan's lair. I just needed to find something to give myself an advantage, and if I could get a drop on that egotistical ice dragon, maybe that would help me defeat him. I didn't find much in the way of secret tunnels, although I did pass a strange rock formation. When I looked at it from a certain angle, it almost seemed to spell out a word. If you're enjoying this video and want to see more, then find our other ones by searching ZO or clicking the channel icon below. Suddenly, I heard a familiar flapping of some fearsome wings. Ivan! I must have wandered close enough to his base for one of his dread thralls to spot me.
You never should have come here, Zozo. I'll teach you to trespass.
Ivan fired his icy attacks at me. Under the sun of the Badlands, he was weakened. Either that, or because I was stronger now, I could take more of what he could dish out. Feeling confident, I swiped my diamond sword at him as he swooped down low, but it wasn't enough to cause any lasting damage. I still wasn't strong enough, so I dodged out of the path of Ivan's next ice blast and took cover until he flew off, frustrated he couldn't find me. He wasn't the only one feeling frustrated though. From day 75 to day 78, I headed back to base and went to sit quietly in my room. I was annoyed that I still couldn't beat Ivan in a fight. I knew all about him now, how he had become the meanest, toughest around, so nobody else could harm him, but he still needed taking down. And if I couldn't even manage to do that, then no one else had any hope of stopping him. I wasn't strong enough, and that made me feel like I'd let down the poor Dodo Hippogriff.
Hey, Zozo, don't feel so disheartened. Come and check out the base. We've made some improvements that are pretty... they're good.
It's okay, Behemoth. You can make a nice joke.
They're pretty cool. That's what they are. Here, I'll show you.
The Behemoth showed me around the base, eager for me to see the new battlements he and the others had been working hard to install. There was now a brand new watchtower, offering a great vantage point to spot Ivan or any of his minions coming if they ever tried to attack our base. I had to admit, even in my low mood, it helped to lift my spirits a little, but not as much as what came next.
Zozo, my Cyclops brethren and I have been talking, and I've been thinking about what the Dodo Hippogriff said to you about combining our powers. This battle axe is a sacred item to us, and, well, we think you should have it.
I was honored. I took hold of the Cyclops battle axe and hoisted it high. I could feel its magic coursing through me as I suddenly grew larger. It granted me 100 hearts and even passed on some ancient wisdom to me, how to perform a special attack called a whirlwind attack. From day 79 to day 84, I was feeling pumped for a rematch with Ivan the Ice Dragon, so I made my way back toward the Badlands to take him on with my increased strength and the Cyclops power at my side. Much to my disappointment, Ivan was nowhere to be seen, probably hiding back in the safety of his base. I did come across a fire ogre though. This was one mob I really didn't want to let get the better of me. His burning blasts of flame could have melted me. But luckily, a huge gust of wind from my whirlwind attack and some ice blasts for good measure quickly snuffed out the fire ogre for good. But before I could celebrate, I got quite the fright when a ghost appeared behind me. Hey, don't sneak up on me like that.
My apologies. I've been wandering these Badlands for longer than I could remember. Just looking for where I fell in my last life.
Well, I'm sure I could help you look. The ghost and I searched around for a while, and he seemed to be pretty grateful just to have someone to talk to after being on his own for so long. After a little digging, we came across a shiny diamond helmet.
You found my helmet. This must have been where my body was. Thank you, Zozo. Now I can rest. Here, take my helmet. I'd rather it went to someone worthy like you.
This was perfect. Some added protection from attacks would give me an edge against Ivan. From day 85 to day 89, I headed back to my base, only to find a terrifying sight waiting for me, Dread Thralls! They were attacking my base. I jumped into action and drew my sword. I let out a blast of my whirlwind attack, sending Dread Thralls toppling over and flinging them into the air. I cut down two with my diamond sword, then froze another with an ice blast. A heavy strike with my sword, and he was gone.
Ah, jeez. They promised that Ice WITHERSTORM was just a big, goofy, apple-eating baby. That's no baby. Let's get the heck out of here.
With that, the remaining Dread Thralls ran off, and I rushed after them. I had to make sure they didn't make it back to Ivan. If they led him to where my base was located, he could destroy all of my friends. I wasn't about to let that happen. I chased the Dread Thralls across the frozen lakes until they were pretty far from my base. I almost lost track of them, but thankfully, I passed a pink pixie who pointed me in their direction.
Hurry, Zozo! Those horrid brutes are tearing through the lakes, causing chaos! Please, give them what for!
From day 90 to day 94, I caught up with the Dread Thralls. They'd ran all the way back to the eroded Badlands. If I didn't act quickly, they'd reveal the location of my friends to Ivan, then he'd attack. They were approaching Ivan's base when suddenly the Thralls stopped. A hideous creature came out to meet them. It was a Gorgon.
What news for Master Ivan?
We found where the big, goofy, apple-eating baby was hiding. But he wasn't no goofy, apple-eating baby. He's a powerful Ice WITHERSTORM.
Silence! Lower your voice. Don't let our master hear. I will break the news to him. First, tell me where I can find this troublesome Ice WITHERSTORM.
After the Dread Thralls left, I ran in to take on the Gorgon alone. I'm right here. The Gorgon gave an angry hiss as I jumped out from my hiding spot and cut down one of the Thralls. I took them out much easier than when I'd first started out, but getting rid of them was only the beginning. The Gorgon attacked. I had to use all the attacks I had learned to fend him off. This was by far my toughest fight yet. From day 95 to day 97, I continued trading blows with the Gorgon. I thought of the Dodo Hippogriff and his wise guidance, and of the Behemoth, Kitty, and the Cyclopses, and all they had done for me. I couldn't let them down.
An icicle like you can't best me. Out here in the Badlands is where a serpent like me can thrive.
Yeah? Well, if you're anything like your boss, then you're just talking a big game to hide how uncertain you are. And I never met a snake I could trust. A snake, that was it! A cold-blooded reptile. That's why the Gorgon lived out here where it was warm. If I used my frosty powers, I could make him drowsy, slow him down. So that's what I did, firing off as many ice blasts as I could, despite the scorching sunlight. It was working. The Gorgon's attacks got slower, easier to dodge, and I could slash the frozen parts of his body to chip away at his health. Soon, he had been defeated. I'd done it. I'd taken down Ivan's top henchman. The Gorgon even dropped a key that would get me into Ivan's base.
Wait, don't you want to know what happened to the others?
Others? The other Ice Witherstorms?
Yes, how my master destroyed them all.
With his dying breath, the Gorgon told me that Ivan, after being abandoned on a frosty peak, devoted himself to being the coldest creature around. He had hunted down other ice withers to absorb their freezing powers and make himself stronger. That was why he had been trying to get to me this whole time. I had to stop him, but I'd need to gear up before the final fight. On day 98, I made my way back to my base, hoping to prepare myself for my final showdown against Ivan. It had all been building to this, and I hoped I was ready. First, I spoke to Behemoth.
Don't worry, Zozo. I'm sure you've got what it takes to take down Ivan. You're the coolest customer I know.
Thanks for that, Behemoth. Then, Kitty.
Zozo, take care! Remember to lick your wounds, and don't fight if you've got a hairball. Trust me on that one.
I'll take your word for it, Kitty. And finally, the Cyclops.
Listen, Zozo, I can't thank you enough for giving me and my Cyclops friends a home. I think the Dodo Hippogriff would be proud of how far you've come. We combined our powers, and it made you the powerful Ice Witherstorm you are.
I just hope that I'm ready to take on Ivan.
None of us are ever ready for challenges, Zozo. We just have to tell ourselves we are, and remember what challenges are for.
They're to make us stronger. On day 99, I made my way back toward the lair of Ivan the Ice Dragon, passing the Alps on my journey towards the eroded Badlands. When I finally reached my destination, it seemed Ivan hadn't taken the fall of his Gorgon too well. The place was crawling with dread thralls. I knew I could handle a group of them, but this was way more than I had ever seen. What I could really do with is getting help getting past these dread thralls.
But of course, you only had to ask Zozo.
Miss Siren!
My siren song can distract these thralls for a time. That should help you deal with them. You go in there and take on Ivan once and for all.
On day 100, I made my way into the heart of Ivan's lair and came face to face with the frozen dragon himself.
So, you've come to get melted, like all the other Ice Witherstorms.
No way, Ivan. I'm here to stop you. I understand why you feel the need to be so tough, but it doesn't excuse hurting people.
I am tough. Why do you think that me, an ice dragon, would make my home here in the eroded Badlands? Because I'm strong enough, cold enough to withstand the heat.
Let's see about that. We clashed. The fight was on. Ivan was much bigger than me and could fly, so he already had a few advantages I didn't. But I had plenty of my own. I was smaller, faster, and far stronger than when we had last fought. Like before, I kept trying to take some swings of my diamond sword whenever Ivan swooped down low and came in for an attack. This was working for a bit, but Ivan quickly realized what I was doing and began to stay, hovering in the air to evade my sword strikes. Flapping his wings to stay above me, he launched icy blasts my way, and I had to dodge as quick as I could. But that gave me an idea. Two can play that game, Ivan. I've got the power of ice, and the Cyclops is on my side. Moving quickly, I used my ice blasts. Then I stayed out of reach and fired some wither skulls his way. It worked. One more swipe of my diamond sword would finish it. Hey, Ivan, you really need to chill out. Boom! Ivan the Ice Dragon was defeated. On day 1, I spawned in as a baby ghost. Ooh, spooky. Not as spooky as knowing I only have 4 hearts. Oh man, wait, I'm a ghost. Why do I even have hearts? Whatever. But where are all the other ghosts? No ghost mom or ghost dad around? Since no one was around, I started checking out my new powers as a ghost. I could levitate really high and go through blocks. Wow, I passed right through that. I decided that if I was to get on in the world, I'm gonna need to find some ghost friends. The only problem was, I didn't know where any of them were. Going a bit further, I found a graveyard where a gravedigger was digging. Excuse me, have you seen any ghosts around here? Just as I said that, he ran away screaming. Gee, what was that all about? I'm just a ghost. Pretty soon, the gravedigger returned with other villagers wielding torches and pitchforks. Uh-oh, time to go! The villagers chased me deeper into the forest, where I managed to stay hidden for the rest of the night. On day 2, I started journeying through the forest. This is gonna be hard without any gear. I gotta start crafting. I chopped down some wood and found a small cave system. In one of the small caves, I gathered up stone materials that I ended up crafting into an axe, a pickaxe, and a sword. I still haven't found any ghosts yet, but I'm sure they'll show up pretty soon. As I was gathering out materials, I could hear a raven, and I ran out only to see it stuck in what looked like a cage. Oh no, don't worry, little raven, I'll help you. After I set her free, I asked her if she had seen any ghosts around. The raven said she had not seen ghosts in the area for a while, but mentioned there was an abandoned castle not far from here that might have a few ghosts. Perfect! A ghost in a haunted castle. How original! She also told me how thankful she was that I had saved her and hoped to repay the favor one day. Just after we parted, the villagers started attacking again. Ah, not these guys! The raven already flew off, but luckily for me, this time I had weapons. Ha! Take that! After the villagers were gone, I went deeper into the forest and continued to gather materials before going to find the castle. On day 3, I finally managed to find the castle the raven had told me about. What a score! Maybe there are some ghosts in here. I checked through all the corridors and halls to see if I could find anyone. Hello, is anyone haunting here? Checking behind one of the old walls, I found a suit of armor, an iron sword, and some iron ingots. All right, now I can really do a ghost battle. I felt a surge of energy, and my hearts were doubled. All right. Just then, a horde of bats flew in and started swarming me. Hey, back off! I just got this armor. It was a good thing too, because I was able to fight most of them off, and the rest flew off into the night. Even though I didn't find any ghosts, I decided to make the castle my base. I got to work cleaning up the cobwebs and furnituring up the place. When I was done making the place more lively, I went down a secret passageway I noticed that led downward. Maybe there are some ghosts down there. It would be fitting. On days 4 to 5, I journeyed into the passageway to find a hidden dungeon. Aw, cool, I have a dungeon. Then I heard screaming coming from one of the halls. I followed it to find a ghost being picked upon by witches. Hey, that's not nice. You leave that ghost alone. I attacked them and made swift work of them. That's right, and stay out. I went back to check on the ghost I saved and made sure he was okay.
Thank you for that. If you had not come, those witches would have surely taken me to the end.
No problem. Why did those witches want to take you anyways?
They are the servants of the Grim Reaper, the ruler of the end, who enslaves ghosts and spirits.
How terrible. Well, we're safe now. What's your name?
Oh, sorry. Where are my manners? My name is Gordon, and I am an organist.
An organist? Wow, that's fascinating.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I lost all my organs a while back.
Oh, really? How far back?
As long as I've been a ghost.
Clever.
Thank you.
On days 6 to 8, Gordon and I got to work building back up the exterior of the castle. I made us some stronger pickaxes, and we quickly got to work gathering stone for the castle. Man, if we work any harder, we could work ourselves to death.
Zozo, we're already dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. We could hear a howl in the distance. Stay here, Gordon. I'll be back. I ran after the sound of the howl to see it was the villagers running after a wolf. Poor little guy, I gotta do something. Quickly, I got into action and started to attack the villagers. Pick on someone your own size, or species, or being, whatever, go away! My attack did the trick, and soon they were disposed of. I turned back to check on the wolf, only to see a person standing there. Wait a moment, where's the wolf?
I am the wolf. Sort of. I'm a werewolf. My name is Kane. I turn into a wolf on occasions.
Should I be worried about that?
It's not like what you would think. It only happens when I get very emotional. I am normally very calm.
Well, if you'd like, you can stay with me at my castle.
I'd appreciate that very much. Thank you. Wait, you have a castle?
Yeah, I am a ghost after all. On days 9 through 10, Gordon, Kane, and I made our way back and started working on the castle, furnituring up the upper floor. This looks great, guys. Good job.
Yes, the extra set of hands has really been helpful, even if he has fleas.
I heard that, music lover.
Just as we finished, we were attacked by goblins. Sure enough, they started pelting us with orange pumpkin bombs using their trebuchets, damaging everything we have been working at. Why are you doing this to us? We just want to live in peace.
A message from the Grim Reaper. No ghost or spirit is safe. Not even one with high castles.
We could see a goblin begin to load up more powerful jack-o'-lantern bombs, so we ran downstairs to cover before they caused even more damage. We then ran out to assess the damage after some time had passed. The pumpkin bombs destroyed our castle. You're gonna pay for this, Grim Reaper. On days 11 through 12, Gordon, Kane, and I looked over what was left of our castle.
They have destroyed everything, all that we have worked for.
I know how you feel, Gordon. However, maybe we can remake the castle, fully our own. Gordon and I left the ruins to gather more materials, while Kane cleared up what was left of the old castle. After gathering some materials, we decided to rebuild. We even added new defenses, so we wouldn't have to worry about being bombarded again.
Zozo, you're a genius. I still think we're going to need extra help.
Oh yeah? Who do you have in mind?
He's an old friend of mine. He has great power among our kind. Maybe he can help us.
Great. Where does he live?
Go deep within the forest. There you will find trees covered with symbols. Find the symbol that looks like a jack-o'-lantern and open it up.
Okay, seems simple enough.
I'll go with you.
I don't know, Kane. You can as easily be hurt.
How else might I prove my loyalty to you if I cannot be by your side?
Okay, Kane, you can come with me. On days 13 to 15, Kane and I were off to find the trees Gordon had talked about. After a good deal of walking, we finally spotted an area that looked interesting.
Oh, this one's shaped like a turkey. Let's go to this one.
Kane, remember, Gordon said the one shaped like a jack-o'-lantern. We soon found the tree and opened the door inside of it. I felt a gust of wind when suddenly the floor opened up and we began falling. Soon enough, we landed in what appeared to be a pumpkin patch. Well, this is weird.
Zozo, over here.
I followed Kane to what appeared to be an old mine, but no people were around. I wonder where everyone went.
No idea. Maybe we should gather some materials while we're here.
That's a good idea. Right away, we started gathering more materials, including coal and even a couple diamonds. Wow, this is great. I wonder why they just left this behind. Then out of nowhere, a horde of zombies showed up and started attacking us. I think I know where the miners went. We fought off most of them, but one of them appeared to surrender.
Stop! I don't want to fight. If you'd like, I can take you to our leader.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? Lead the way. On day 16 to 19, the zombie, whose name was Reggie, led us around his homeworld.
This is the Pumpkin Kingdom, a safe haven for all things spooky.
I can see that. This place is awesome.
I will take you to meet the king. You can discuss with him the matter of the Grim Reaper.
Great. Thank you, Reggie. Reggie led us to the palace where the Pumpkin King was seated on his throne. He was a tall, pumpkin-looking figure with big black eyes and long, bony hands.
Welcome, our new guests.
Thank you for having us, Your Majesty. We have come to seek your help to defeat the Grim Reaper. The king shuddered at the mention of the Grim Reaper.
Defeat that evil which tortures good spirits and enslaves souls? How I wish I could, but alas, no one can defeat that.
Surely there must be something we can do. No one should have to fear this foe. Pumpkin King got up from his throne and walked towards us.
I have heard of a certain item that was forged long ago. A trident made out of an unknown material that can destroy any creature, even the Grim Reaper.
Great. Well, where is it?
It has since been split apart, with the pieces in different locations. The Valley of Snakes, the Cave of Darkness, and the Clown Carnival.
Well, that last one doesn't sound too scary.
Would you be willing to go on a quest to retrieve the pieces of the trident and fight the Grim Reaper?
Me? What can I do? I'm just a ghost.
Just a ghost? My dear Zozo, there is more to you than you might think. I can tell. I'm the Pumpkin King.
I'm sorry, Pumpkin King, but you got the wrong ghost for this job.
In time, I am sure you will understand.
On days 20 to 22, Kane and I left the Pumpkin Kingdom and ended up walking through a cemetery, stopping in the middle of it to catch our breath.
Zozo, why didn't you agree to find the missing pieces of the trident?
I don't know, Kane. I guess I just don't feel strong enough.
I know you can do it, Zozo. Pumpkin King is right. It will take time, but you will know.
Just then, we heard screaming coming from a distance and ran over to see what it was. Much to my surprise, it was another gravedigger. I guess cemeteries have those. He was surrounded by giant vultures. Oh man, I might as well try to save him from becoming buzzard food. Kane and I charged the vultures and attacked them with all of our might. Get away! Get out of here! Soon enough, the vultures were gone, and the gravedigger stood in shock.
Thank you, Mr. Ghost Thing, sir.
You're welcome, and next time you see a ghost or even a werewolf, remember, they aren't all bad.
Yes, sir. I will definitely remember that. I'll let the others know as well.
The gravedigger ran off to tell the nearby village what had just happened. Suddenly, I started feeling weird, like a boost of energy, and I transformed into an epic level phantom. Whoa, I have 15 hearts now.
Whoa, Zozo, not to be rude, but you look kind of weird.
I feel kind of weird, but at the same time, I feel I need to sing.
Sing? Sing about what?
About how I must defeat the Grim Reaper.
That's the spirit.
No, now I'm a phantom.
Oh, you know what I meant. Let's get on with this and head back to the castle.
Agreed. On days 23 to 26, Kane and I returned to the castle, only to see it attacked by a coven of witches. Jeez, these folks do not let up.
We have to help Gordon, Zozo.
You're right. Quickly, we sprang into action, knocking out several witches with every stroke of our weapons. Take that, and another blow for you. Pretty soon, all the witches were defeated, and we went to check on Gordon.
Oh, thank goodness you two have finally gotten back. It's been a witchapalooza over here.
Gordon, are you all right? Has anything been damaged more?
Not really. It has just been obnoxious. On the brighter side, I found one of my organs. Now, just to find the right place to put it.
Well, while you do that, I'm gonna start working on something. Realizing that the witches, goblins, and other bad creatures could come back, I started the process of building a statue that could be seen as a sign of goodness and security. Can you tell what it is already? After I was done building the first part of the statue, I noticed a message in the sky. Subscribe? Weird message, but definitely one to listen to. On days 27 to 31, I journeyed to the Valley of Snakes to find one of the pieces of the trident. Well, this place looks eerie. As I journeyed deeper into the valley, I began to hear noises of movement around the walls. Alright, I definitely need to be careful, but I have to know what's inside of this wall. What if it's what I'm looking for? I broke through the wall and fell down into a pit that had a giant pit viper in it. He charged towards me with his rapid speed, snapping his jaws and delivering some blows. Youch! I looked down and realized I had been bitten and poisoned by the pit viper. I managed to hide from him for a short while I healed. After healing for a bit, I decided I was strong enough to face it once more, so I charged into battle. I landed some attacks, but so did the viper. He poisoned me again, so I tried to hide, but it seemed like the viper had enough. He lied down and pleaded with me to leave him alone after I re-emerged from the tunnels. Where is the piece of the trident I need?
All right, I'll give it to you. Just stop hitting me.
I did what the pit asked, and he proceeded to give me the missing piece. On days 32 to 35, I traveled to the village the gravedigger mentioned, where I saw the Grim Reaper and some goblins in the nearby cemetery. Oh no, I can't fight him now. I only just got the first piece of the trident. Luckily for me though, the Grim Reaper wasn't interested in attacking me. Unluckily for the village, he was interested in attacking them. I could see a group of goblins launching explosives into the village. No, don't! The people! Quickly, I sprang into action, helping where I could to put out any fires the goblins set off with their explosions.
Thank you for your help, Zozo. Unfortunately, those goblins did a lot of damage to the village, and now we have no place to live.
Tell you what, when you folks finish your repairs, you can all come and live with me in my castle.
Wow, really? Do you mean it?
Of course. It gets kind of lonely there with only a ghost organist and a werewolf.
All right. Wait, a what now?
On days 36 to 39, I returned with the villagers to the castle.
I always wanted to live in a castle. Maybe under different circumstances, but still, here we are.
Glad I could make it all come true for you.
Yeah, thanks. By the way, I hear you are looking for the lost pieces of a trident. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. I found one piece of it in the Valley of Snakes after answering a riddle.
Oh, really? What was the answer?
Boo.
Ah!
That's funny. The pit viper had the same response.
Where will you go next to find the missing pieces?
Well, according to the Pumpkin King, the other locations are a cave and a carnival.
Wait, the Clown Carnival?
Yeah, have you heard of it?
That place is terrifying. Filled with broken down rides and creepy characters who lurk in the shadows.
Yeesh, not what I was expecting.
It's located right next to an old harbor, where it's said that a creature lives and hunts unsuspecting visitors.
Oh, well that isn't comforting.
Take this for your journey. It may come in handy.
The gravedigger handed to me what appeared to be a red nose?
Okay, I'm sure this will make sense in the future, but right now, I'm lost. On days 40 to 43, I was on my way through the forest when what appeared to be a group of gnats? Oh great, I can't even see these guys. I started waving my sword all over the place, hitting whatever I could until I almost ran out of health. What am I gonna do now? Suddenly, I heard the sound of flapping, and streaks of black flew in front of me. The next thing I knew, the gnats were gone. Well, that was handy. Thank you, whoever that was.
You're welcome.
The voice came out of nowhere, but sounded so familiar. Wait a moment, is that... It was the raven I saved from earlier.
I thought I could repay the kindness you showed me earlier.
Well, thank you for that. I just wish I hadn't lost my sword in the process.
I may have something to help you with that.
Just then, the raven revealed to me a beautiful diamond sword, fit to take on any foe.
As a tribute of my loyalty and friendship, I give this to you.
I shall treasure it always. Thank you, and feel free to stop by the castle whenever you'd like. On days 44 to 49, I made it to the carnival, and I have to say, it was really creepy. Man, there really are clowns all over this place. I feel like I'm being watched. While looking through the old rides and attractions, I could hear the sound of running coming from behind me. I turned around to see it was a boy.
Watch out! The clowns are going to get us!
Clowns? Oh no! Suddenly, the clown stopped watching and started attacking. Oh, come on guys, stop clowning around! The clowns were intense, swinging at us, getting a few shots in. Hey, I thought clowns were supposed to be fun! Despite their efforts to overcome, this new sword proved to be really effective, and the clowns were defeated. Once that was finally over, I went to go check on the boy. Hey, are you okay?
Yes, thank you for saving me.
Of course, I would be scared too if a posse of clowns were chasing me. What are you doing out here anyways?
I was tricked into thinking this was a fun carnival, only to find it to be a nightmare.
You're telling me.
Yeah, why are you here?
I'm looking for a missing piece of an ancient weapon. Supposedly it is around here somewhere.
You may want to check closer to the harbor, but be careful. Unless you are a clown, I hear you could be hurt.
A clown, huh? Then I remembered that I still had that red nose on me. Quickly put it on. Well, how do I look?
I'm not going to answer that.
Probably for the best. On days 50 to 53, I started checking out the harbor, seeing if I could find the trident piece. Couldn't find a lot, but I did manage to find some bread and cod. That hit the spot. Just as I was continuing to look around, I saw the pit viper from the valley.
You think you can scare me away again? Well, not this time. I'll make sure you won't get that next piece of the trident.
He slithered toward me, snapping his jaws and showing his venomous fangs. Back, bad snake, don't make me defeat you again. The pit viper would hear none of it and continued trying to attack me. Little did he know my new sword was super powerful, and with some mighty blows, he was defeated for good. See you never, Slither Boy. After the battle, I decided to go and heal up near the water. As soon as I started eating, the whole harbor began to shake, and a giant sea monster appeared up from the water.
Who dares to come into my domain? They will be ripped to...
Oh, it's just another clown. What's up, my giggly friend?
I was wondering if you by chance had the piece of the trident.
Oh, that thing? Sure. Heck, it's been taking up room down here for a while. Keep it if you like.
Gee, thanks.
No problemo. Sea monster out.
Just like that, he went back into the ocean. I, meanwhile, was standing there trying to comprehend what had just happened. Well, that was easy. On days 54 to 57, I brought the boy, whose name was Jamie, back to the castle. Right away, I got to work, decorating a room in the castle for him. After I was done, Kane ran in looking for me.
Zozo, I'm glad I found you. I need your help. Quickly.
What's the issue, Kane?
My werewolf friends have been captured by a group of vampires.
Vampires? Really?
Our most deadly enemy. I need your help to free them. Please, will you help me?
Of course. You lead the way. Kane and I dashed off into the forest. Soon, we saw a spooky-looking structure in front of us. This must be the place. Kane transformed into his wolf form, and we went inside. We explored it room by room until we reached the top, where I could see the werewolves caged up and surrounded by a bunch of vampires. Okay, we need to think of a plan to fight them. If we can just...
Let's go!
No, wait! Kane! Kane charged towards the vampires, and I was following quickly behind.
We fought hard against the vampires, but they seemed near invincible. Man, these guys are hard to beat.
You're telling me it's like they don't have any weaknesses.
Wait, that's it! Weaknesses! Quick, follow me. Both Kane and I ran outside as the vampires chased after us. The vampires were so busy fighting us, they didn't realize they were walking into a trap. The moment they stepped into the sunlight, the vampires simply vanished into dust.
Look, I think one of them dropped something.
I picked it up, and it was a vial of green liquid. Vampire serum. Use on an enemy to control them to your will. I'll definitely be using this in the future. On days 58 to 62, I continued to work on the statue. Can you tell what it is yet? Just as I was admiring the statue, I heard a large explosion coming from the castle. Oh no, what is happening now? I turned around and saw that the castle was under attack. Witches, goblins, and vultures, oh my! Quickly, I sprang into battle, chopping at any witch or goblin I saw. Take that, and some of that. Ooh, and you get some too! My friends joined me outside, and suddenly a black cloud appeared, revealing the Grim Reaper. He produced a massive sickle, and with an extremely powerful blow, took down all the villagers and werewolves.
Come to me.
All of a sudden, the spirits of the fallen rose up from their bodies and entered into the cloud with the Grim Reaper.
We will return.
Just like that, the Grim Reaper vanished. Suddenly, I could see Gordon rushing up to me.
Zozo, you must come quick. It's Kane. He has been badly injured.
Gordon led me over to where Kane was, and I could tell he was not all right. Kane, speak to me. It's gonna be all right.
Oh, Zozo, I am so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry about. You fought bravely. That's all anyone could ever ask.
I just hope that I was truly loyal and a good friend.
You were the best, buddy. The most loyal and true friend any ghost could ever ask for. Kane appeared to smile. He then closed his eyes and was no more. On days 63 to 66, we buried the fallen from the previous battle. Goodbye, Kane. Thank you for believing in me. While we were all in a time of mourning, I was surprised to see the Pumpkin King come and call me over to him. It is good to see you, Pumpkin King. I just wish it were for different circumstances.
So do I, Zozo. However, I do come bearing some good news.
Oh, really? What may that be?
My researchers have found the location of the Cave of Darkness, and we have also found this key, which is said to unlock the final piece of the trident.
The Pumpkin King told me the directions to the cave and gave me the key to take with me.
Stay strong, Zozo. It is said that the cave is guarded by cave trolls, who are known to be strong in their attacks.
I will be. Thank you for this useful knowledge. Unfortunately, just as we thought things couldn't be going worse, another swarm of bats tried to attack us. Really? This is not a good time. Just as the bats were attacking, the Pumpkin King screamed an awful scream that ultimately shook them up and made them faint. Whoa, how did you do that?
Well, you don't think I'm called the Pumpkin King without having a few tricks up my sleeve.
That's fair. Can you teach me that?
Maybe someday. Right now, you've got a journey ahead of you.
Right. Thanks again. On days 67 to 70, I finally made it to the location of the Cave of Darkness. There appeared to be guards posted near the entrance in the cave, but these weren't just any guards. Trolls! Mountain trolls! They're even bigger than cave trolls. I quickly began thinking about how I could either distract or defeat those guys. Then I noticed the gravel hanging over the top of the cave ceiling. After noticing that they aren't going to move, I pondered my options and decided to mine out the ceiling and make the gravel fall. Incoming! The gravel came crashing down, crushing the trolls upon impact. Well, that was pretty easy. Just then, I heard footsteps and a larger troll came running over. He looked like the leader and must have heard the noise. With no other alternative, and now in plain sight, I decided I had to fight him. This is gonna hurt. Indeed it did. His blows were so powerful that I was losing hearts left and right. It's a good thing I'm fast. Just as I feared he was about to deliver the final blow, I thought about Kane and how much he had sacrificed. I couldn't lose now, not this time. I built up my courage and was able to fight back even harder than before. Soon, I had won. Then I was off to explore the Cave of Darkness. On days 71 to 74, I delved into the Cave of Darkness, looking for the last piece of the trident. Man, this place is dark. Oh wait, the Cave of Darkness. Yeah, that really makes sense now. Continuing on, I could see a big door with a lock on it, guarded by a cave troll. I got to get past him somehow. I pondered the situation, then I thought of something. I hid behind a rock and shouted out loud, "Pie! Free pie! Everybody, free pie!" The troll looked around, then took off running, right past me. Well, everybody knows you can't resist free pie. I ran over to the door and went to the lock. The key fit perfectly, and with a turn of the key, I opened the door. Finally, what I needed all along. As soon as I opened it, I saw the piece was gone. What? How is that possible? Right where the piece was, there was a note. I took it and read the following message.
Looks like you're too late. Did you really think you could beat me?
The Grim Reaper must have beaten me to it. I had to find him, and quickly. On days 75 to 78, I returned back to the castle, where I could see everyone had built some stables and a farm next to the castle. This is great. Hopefully nothing will stop us now. I could see Gordon playing music on the piano.
I know it's not much, but music can truly make a difference.
I'll take your word for it. I'm just glad everyone is working together.
Oh, by the way, the Pumpkin King was here before you returned. He wanted me to give this to you.
I opened up the Pumpkin King's gift, and it was a whole new suit of armor. It even came with a new ability, Ghost Whale. This is awesome! I was definitely going to be using this for the future.
Oh, that reminds me. What did you find in the cave?
Well, before I could even talk, a thunderous sound came from outside the castle. It was the troll, and he looked angry.
There was no free pie! You owe me a pie!
Oh boy, I knew this would come back to haunt me. Right away, I jumped down from the castle to reason with him, but he wasn't having any of it. He started to attack me with all of his might, and I was really starting to think that this was the end. Just then, I remembered I still had the vampire serum. I equipped it so that with the next blow I made, it would be under my control. I laid a hit on him, and he stopped trying to fight me. Ha! Alright then. Tell me, where has the Grim Reaper hidden the last piece of the trident?
It's located at the old farm, guarded by the maniac.
The maniac? Who's he?
Oh, he's just this tall, masked creature who hunts people with chainsaws.
Oh boy, when will these adventures ever get easy? On days 79 to 84, I made it to the old farm to look for the last piece of the trident. Hello? Any maniacs here with a chainsaw I should know about? While checking the area and making sure there weren't any maniacs around, I could hear the sound of someone asking for help, coming from the farmhouse. I looked inside and saw it was Iron Man. Iron Man? Why would you need my help?
Wait, do you think I'm the real Iron Man? I knew this suit was convincing. This is just my Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Wait, I don't see any kids around. Are you an adult that still goes trick-or-treating?
Yeah, so I'm an adult who likes to get free candy. Big deal. But look, did you see that mask over there? The one by the mailbox?
Yeah?
If you could hand that over to me, I would really appreciate it.
Why don't you just go get it yourself?
Are you crazy? There's a maniac out there. I figured if I could get my mask, maybe he wouldn't attack me because he thought I was the real Iron Man.
Well, that's not the worst plan, I guess. You tricked me. Hang on a second. I ran over to the mailbox and quickly picked up the mask. I returned to the door to give the man the mask. Okay, before you go, I need to ask a couple questions.
All right, mask first, please.
Fine. I'm looking for a missing piece of an ancient weapon I need. Have you seen anything like that? Just then, I heard what could only be called dark laughing coming from outside. Sounds like it's time for you to go. The trick-or-treater jumped up and ran out the back door. I ran back outside and saw the Grim Reaper hovering above the barn.
Foolish ghost, did you really think it would be that easy?
Easy? No part of this was really easy. Where's that missing piece, Reaper?
Oh, do you mean this?
The Grim Reaper revealed the last piece. It was the one that had all the spears at the end.
I hope you have enjoyed your journey, little ghost. Now prepare to watch it crumble to pieces.
In his hand, the Grim Reaper destroyed the last piece of the trident, breaking it to pieces on the ground. No, you villain!
Yeah, that's kind of the point. Oh, and there's someone in here who is just crazy about meeting you. Good luck trying to fight off this maniac.
In an instant, the Grim Reaper was gone, and now I had a new enemy to face. The door of the house next to the barn broke to reveal the maniac I had heard so much about. He ran towards me, his chainsaw in hand. I thought quickly, then I remembered the Pumpkin King's gift of the ghost whale. As the maniac grew closer, I yelled as loud as I could, letting loose a great big force from my mouth, like a powerful wind. It knocked the maniac off his feet and took him out.
I ran over to where he had come from and saw he had another chainsaw in a crate. I picked it up, along with the pieces of the trident the Grim Reaper had left behind. Maybe there's something I can still do with this. On days 85 to 89, I was heading through the forest when who should I see but Reggie, the zombie miner from the Pumpkin Kingdom. Reggie, it's good to see you, but what are you doing here?
I was sent by the Pumpkin King to tell you more information about the end. There is a portal that can transport you there.
Well, that's great, but what will I need?
You will need at least 12 Eyes of Ender. Only then can the portal truly work.
That's good, only there's one problem. I don't have any of those.
I was thinking that was going to be a problem, so I proceeded to take the liberty in giving you these.
You then tossed out 12 Eyes of Ender. Thank you, Reggie. This is extremely helpful.
What can I say? I'm a miner. I know how to find things.
Well, is there any way you can find a way to fix this? I proceeded to show Reggie the broken pieces of the trident head.
I will take these back to the Pumpkin King. Hopefully something can be done about them. Quickly.
Appreciate that immensely, Reggie. The quicker we act, the quicker we can defeat the Grim Reaper once and for all. On days 90 to 94, I started to get ready for my final journey. Gordon found some new iron ingots, which I forged to make new weapons and armor. I then gave all the new equipment to my friends.
Ah, cool. A gift of armor from a ghost. The things you never expect to say.
A little while later, while I was resting upstairs, I could see Jamie approaching me, looking very pleased with himself. Jamie, what happened?
I ended up going back to the carnival and harbor to see if I could gather any more materials and also face my fears.
I'm proud of you, Jamie. Well, what did you get? Jamie placed down a shulker box and I looked inside. It was full of netherite ingots. Jamie, how did you acquire all of this?
I went up to the sea monster, asked him if he had anything that was strong, and he gave me these.
All right, but how?
Simple. I just wore a red nose. All in all, the sea monster is a pretty chill dude, as long as you have the nose, of course.
With the netherite ingots, I quickly got to upgrading all my armor and weapons. If I'm going to the end, I'm gonna need all the help I can get. On days 95 to 97, I finally finished the statue. I'm sure you can tell what it is now. It's a jack-o'-lantern. Traditionally, they were used to ward off any evil spirits from invading one's home, which is exactly why I wanted to create it. After all the attacks by witches and goblins and things, sometimes it's good to defend oneself in a more classic way. I went to admire it in all of its glory. Hello, jack-o'-lantern.
Hello!
Ah, I didn't know you could talk.
You never asked.
That's fair. So, how's life?
Life is gourd. Life is gourd. Get it?
Yep, got it. Well, this has been fun. I should probably get going.
Leaving so soon? Don't you want my spooky blessing?
Just then, some particles appeared around me, and I gained 10 more hearts. Whoa, thanks! I'm feeling really gourd now. The pumpkin was silent for a moment.
Let me handle the gourd puns.
Sure, whatever you say. On day 98, I exited the castle and went to go look for the end portal frame. Suddenly, I could see what looked like a miner in a distance. Right away, I knew it was Reggie. Oh, great! Maybe he has the completed trident head. Quickly, I ran to greet him, hoping in my heart that he had what I needed. Reggie!
Zozo, I just got the chance to meet your jack-o'-lantern. Funny guy. The king will really get a kick out of him.
That's fine, but did you manage to get the trident head fixed?
That's why I wanted to meet you in person. It's almost done, but it will take a little longer.
We don't have much longer though. Tell the Pumpkin King to get that piece finished as quickly as possible, and then make sure you deliver it to me in the end as soon as you can.
All right, I will.
Reggie left, and it was time to go to the end. I started throwing out Eyes of Ender, which led me across the land. Eventually, the eye stopped, and I started to dig down, entering the stronghold. I found the portal and filled in the missing Eyes of Ender. Suddenly, the portal awoke. All right, Grim Reaper, here I come. On day 99, I finally managed to enter the end. Well, this is trippy. Gathering my surroundings, I could see what appeared to be a cage. Looking closer, I could see it was filled with several ghosts and spirits. No, my people! Quickly, I rushed over toward it, but was attacked by the skeletons that were guarding it. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. One by one, I fought and defeated each of the skeletons. Ha! Better luck next time, bone bags. Eventually, I got to the cage, but there was a big lock on the front of it. How am I gonna get these ghosts out of here? I could hear them pleading for me to break them out, talking about the lock. I know, I saw. Wait a minute, saw. Then I remembered I still had the Maniac's chainsaw from earlier. I don't know if this will work, but I have to try. I ran over to the lock and with the chainsaw, used it to try and cut the lock open. It was definitely taking a while for the lock to break and depleting the strength of the chainsaw. Man, this thing is strong! Fortunately, the chainsaw worked and the lock was broken. Go! Be free! The spirits flew out of the cage in a fury. I felt relieved when I saw that every single one had left the cage. Now, on to the big guy. On day 100, I continued fighting my way through the end. More goblins started to attack me, but using the ghost well, I quickly managed to defeat them. Let that be a lesson to you. No matter what creatures tried to fight me, I managed to press on to the final battle. Come on, Reaper, I don't fear you! Eventually, I appeared to have found what could only be called a massive structure that housed a throne room. The Grim Reaper sat on a throne, wielding a giant sickle.
So, have you come to die?
I have come to defeat you once and for all.
Well, first, you'll have to find me.
With the snap of his bony fingers, the Grim Reaper was gone, and a swarm of zombies charged towards me. Back! Go rot somewhere else! The zombies appeared to be no problem, but I still didn't know where the Grim Reaper went.
Having fun?
The Grim Reaper appeared again. Huh, I have not yet begun to fight.
This is pointless. You know you cannot defeat me. I destroyed your last chance.
Zozo! I turned around and saw Reggie standing behind me in the doorway. He threw something on the ground. It was the completed trident. I ran over and picked the trident up. Thanks, Reggie. Now get out of here. Reggie nodded and quickly ran off.
Oh, and what has your little friend brought you now?
You're doomed. I pointed the complete trident towards him. Just as I did, I could feel a power up, and I transformed into a supreme level spirit. The Grim Reaper shrieked at the sight of this, then lunged towards me with his sickle. The fight was momentous, with the Grim Reaper blinding me and using special attacks, and me blocking every harsh blow he tried. Little by little, I jabbed at him with the trident.
No one can defeat me!
Oh yeah? Well, I just did. With one final blow, I thrusted the trident into the chest of the Grim Reaper. He let out a wicked yell, and at last, he was defeated. With the battle won, I left the end and traveled back to my base. Back at the castle, everyone was there. They all cheered that the Grim Reaper had been defeated and that his minions could no longer torment us. The land was safe once more.
On day 1, I spawned into the Aspen Forest as Tails, the awesome two-tailed fox, the best friend of Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, I'm a little baby Tails. This is adorable. Still, I can't wait to get bigger and stronger. But before I could even think about that, I was hit by a crossbow bolt and wounded. I turned and saw a big, scary armored Vindicator coming through the trees towards me.
Well, if it isn't Tails, I've been searching for you. You and your little blue speedster of a friend have had it too good for too long.
Wait, you mean Sonic? He's not here. I'm just Zozo playing as Tails. What kind of problem do you have with me?
You seem to think I'm some common Vindicator, that you can trick me. You're wrong, Zozo, if that is your real name.
It is!
I am a machine designed to destroy pesky little animals like you. And you may know my creator's name, Dr. Robotnik.
Oh no, not him. Anybody but him.
He gave me a mission. I have to destroy you in 100 days. And believe me, I will never fail my mission.
He talked a big game and looked like he could back it up, so I turned and ran for my life. I may not be as fast as Sonic, but that doesn't mean I'm not cool and tough. I'm gonna figure out a way to stop this evil robot from completing its mission. On day 2, I went deeper into the Aspen Forest, keeping a low profile to avoid being spotted by that terrifying armored Vindicator. If he was made by Dr. Robotnik to hunt us down personally, he's gotta be one tough customer. I've got 10 hearts, and I'm already injured, and my hunger bar is way too low. I've gotta get some food immediately. Lucky for me, surrounded by all these trees, it wasn't hard to find an apple tree and fill my inventory with yummy, healthy fruit. An apple a day keeps the armored Vindicator away. But that didn't mean it'd keep every enemy away, because soon enough, a frozen zombie came shambling towards me through the trees. A frozen zombie? What are you doing all the way over here?
I'm another one of Dr. Robotnik's experiments. I'm not just a frozen zombie, I'm a cyborg zombie.
That's just one more reason to run away from you really, really fast. And so, I did. I ran away, regretting that I didn't have Sonic super speed. I managed to escape the frozen zombie cyborg, but on the way out, I almost stepped on a blob of slime. Ah, gross.
Hey, that's not very nice.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you could talk. I'm Zozo.
And I'm Blowbert, the conjured slime. You look a little anxious there, pal. A little green around the gills. Have a healing potion.
Blowbert gave me a healing potion, which I eagerly drank, feeling my hearts replenish. Phew! That was exactly what I needed. Thank you. It's a relief to know there are some nice people around here.
Very kind of you to say so. Come with me. A good friend of mine has a camp around here. You'll want to warm your hands by nightfall.
That's an offer I can't refuse. Lead the way, Blowbert. On day 3, I followed Blowbert through the forest as day slowly turned into night. Thank you for being so friendly to me, Blowbert. I feel like all I've done since I've gotten here is run away from scary people who want to hurt me.
I know how it is. This may surprise you, but people aren't exactly friendly to us conjured slimes. We have to deal with a lot of meanness from people, so I always try to be kind to others.
After a little more walking, I'd found the campfire Blowbert told me about. I went over and saw an iceologer warming himself next to the flames.
Hello there! I trust you're a friendly one, or you would have started attacking me by now.
You're right. I'm Zozo, and I'm on the run from Dr. Robotnik's armored Vindicator robot.
Ah, Zozo, it's a pleasure. I'm Ivan the iceologer. I was here studying the ice caps until that dastardly Robotnik melted them to resurrect the frozen zombies. So now I'm hiding out too.
Wow, Robotnik really has ruined everything out here. Is he still in the overworld?
Nope, he left this dimension to go and trouble others, and left that armored Vindicator robot to rule on his behalf.
Wait, so that means if I defeat the armored Vindicator, not only will I solve my own problems, I'll also save the entire world?
Well, theoretically, but surely nobody can defeat the armored Vindicator.
That's not gonna stop me from trying. From day 4 to day 5, I left the campfire with Blowbert and went exploring for a perfect place to make a base of operations.
Why make a base, Zozo? Isn't it better to stay on the move?
Rest is important, Blowbert. Plus, with a base, we can work on building defenses for ourselves in the event of an attack.
That's pretty sound logic. I guess you can have this wooden pickaxe I've been saving for a special occasion.
Blowbert gave me the wooden pickaxe, and while I didn't want to look ungrateful, I did use it to immediately mine into the ground and gather enough stone to make a stone sword and pickaxe. Sorry, Blowbert, stone is just more effective. But to make it up to him, I started building a cool little base with 2 rooms. One for me to sleep in, and another one for Blowbert. It wasn't much, but at least it'd be a roof over our heads.
Wow, Zozo, this is amazing. With a room to sleep in, I won't need to worry about someone stepping on me while I'm sleeping.
But that didn't mean I could afford to stop being alert. Once my base building for the day was done, a vicious leaf leaf came running out of the forest towards me. There was no talking it down. Instead, I pulled out my stone sword and started attacking. Soon enough, I defeated the leaf leaf and gained enough XP to level up. I got bigger, stronger, jumped up to 30 hearts, and got an all-important new power, flying! This is awesome! Now I'm really just like Tails. From day 6 to day 8, I decided to put my new flying power to good use. I took off and soared all the way to the Basalt Barrera. It's so cool to see this place from above, but I could stand to get a closer look. That's why I flew down to the ground and started exploring. But it seemed that Dr. Robotnik's price on my head expanded even beyond his creations, because the second I touched the ground, an icy creeper came running towards me. Back up, back up, back up! Boom! The icy creeper exploded, leaving a huge crater in the ground. And I was able to safely descend again.
Great Scott! That was amazing, lad!
I turned and saw a rugged mountaineer emerge from behind a rocky outcrop. He came towards me, showing no signs of aggression.
The name's Michael the Mountaineer. But sadly, I've got a terrible sense of direction, so I still haven't found any mountains yet. Say, would you mind doing me a favor?
Does it involve helping you find a mountain?
Oh, You'd think so, but no. This rascal, the Vindicator Chef, used to be the personal chef for Dr. Robotnik when he was still around here. He needs to be taught a thing or two.
Well, it's not like Dr. Robotnik and his men can hate me any more than they already do. Let's do it! From day 9 to day 10, I followed Michael the Mountaineer through the Basalt Barrera until we came upon the Vindicator Chef. You stay back here, Michael. This could get tasty, and not in a good way. With Michael hanging back, I went in to confront the Vindicator Chef. But he seemed a lot gnarlier than you'd expect from a humble food service worker.
This sad little fox. My brother told me you'd be coming. I'm preparing a special meal for you. 3 courses, an appetizer of surprise, a main course of fear, and humiliation for dessert.
All this food for me, and all I'm gonna serve you is your words, Vindicator Chef. But I soon regretted being so arrogant, because the Vindicator Chef was not to be trifled with. He defeated me soundly, and all he could do was run away. Right back to Michael the Mountaineer.
Is everything okay, Zozo, old chap?
This chef is way more dangerous than I thought. I'm gonna need some better training and weapons before I can take him on. Wanna come stay at my base in the meantime?
Happily, I can search for more mountains there.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with Michael the Mountaineer and immediately set about making him a chill little bedroom attached to mine in Blowbird's.
This is a truly wonderful little abode, Zozo. And in exchange for your hard work, I made a few little upgrades of my own for you.
I looked around the base and saw that Michael the Mountaineer had built a new storage room for weapons, armor, and supplies, and a furnace for smelting materials. This is awesome, Michael! Thank you! In fact, you've inspired me to do a little searching. That's why I explored an abandoned mining cave in the depths of the Aspen Forest, which was every bit as deep, dark, and creepy as you can imagine. But lucky for me, I found a vein of iron ore and used my stone pickaxe to dig it up. Once I'd collected enough, I went back to my base and used the furnace to smelt it into workable ingots. I used those ingots to make myself a cool iron chestplate. The best offense is a good defense, I've always said. The only thing the base was missing was some livestock, so I went about finding some sheep in the Aspen Forest and shepherded them back to the base. I built a little fence around them with enough space for them to roam freely. Now this base is feeling a lot more like a home. From day 13 to day 15, I once again spoke to my friend Blowbird. I needed advice from a goopy guy who knew his way around the block, so to speak.
I'd say you should start investigating the clues Robotnik left behind before he left the overworld. I know he had a present in the Basalt Barrera and the cold swamplands, so maybe there are clues for how to defeat the armored Vindicator out there.
Hey, it couldn't hurt. That's some great advice, Blowbird. Thank you. I flew out to the Basalt Barrera first, seeing as it was slightly more familiar territory. I started searching around for an entire day, but I couldn't find anything. However, a frozen zombie found me.
You're too late, Zozo. We've scrubbed this place of any evidence of Dr. Robotnik's plans. And next, we're going to do it in the cold swamplands.
Wait, so that means you haven't done this in the cold swamplands yet?
Oh, crud! Me and my big mouth. I better destroy you now to save face.
I flew into battle with the frozen zombie, and after a tough fight, I was able to finally take him down. And when I did, he dropped some kind of potion. Well, I am a little thirsty. I drank the potion and suddenly felt myself getting bigger and stronger. I had 60 hearts now and a new power. I slammed my fist into the ground, shattering a bunch of the blocks below me. I guess I had some strength that even Knuckles would be proud of now. From day 16 to day 19, I flew into a totally new location, the cold swamplands. Can't say I'd want to build a summer home here, but if Robotnik used to have a research lab here, it's worth checking out. I touched down and started searching. I was actually searching for 2 whole days when I finally found a ratty old book laying in the swamp. The cover read, Robotnik Research Notes. That sounds like a real page-turner. Part I read said, the overworld research subjects have been mostly disappointing. The Vindicator Chef was a complete failure, and the frozen zombies are mostly weak. But the armored Vindicator and the Dread Beast are extremely promising. The Dread Beast? Eesh, that doesn't sound good. My reading time was interrupted by another frozen zombie trudging towards me through the swamp.
You'll never survive my undead wrath.
I'm not afraid of you anymore! I ran in and defeated the zombie as quick as a flash! Sonic would have been proud of me if he'd seen it. From day 20 to day 22, I decided it was time to treat myself to a cool set of new gear. I've enjoyed stone, but I think I need some metal to take it to the next level. And where better to find metal than in the old mining cavern? I ventured back in and mined up a bunch more iron ore, which I then took back to the furnace at my base. Before I knew it, I had an iron sword and iron tools. With these, I think I can settle an old score. I flew back to the Basalt Barrera with my new gear and made a beeline for the diabolical Vindicator Chef.
Ready for me to cook up another whooping for you, you worthless fox?
Actually, I was thinking I'd cook this time. And I did. With my iron sword, I served up a heaping helping of Defeat the Vindicator Chef. In a flash, he was gone. If I can defeat one Vindicator, maybe I can defeat another.
Are you so sure about that, Zozo?
I turned and saw the armored Vindicator was standing right there. I had my sword ready, but he was too fast for me. He fired an energy blast at me that took off way too many of my hearts for my liking. So I turned and flew off. I was wrong. I'm nowhere near strong enough to beat him yet. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to my base to give Michael the Mountaineer the good news.
Zozo, welcome back, old chap. You're looking mighty cheerful. What news do you have?
I did it! That Vindicator Chef is toast!
Oh, I do enjoy a spot of toast. Oh, I see. You mean you managed to defeat him? Marvelous!
Yeah, it was pretty great. I do have a craving for toast now, though. I thought about making some toast, but instead I decided to satisfy a different hunger. My hunger for mining. I climbed back into the mines and found some more iron ore. Then, I took my freshly discovered ore back to my base and smelted it in my furnace. After making some iron ingots, I was able to craft an iron helmet and a pair of iron boots. I was trying on my new gear when Michael the Mountaineer approached me.
Afternoon, Zozo! I do appreciate your help with that terrible chef. I hope you'll allow me to express my gratitude, especially since I've already completed my gift for you. It's a new perimeter wall to keep us all safe and sound.
I love it! Thank you so much! From day 27 to day 31, I flew back to the cold swamplands to continue investigating the area. I wonder if I can find more research notes or something even more helpful. I searched the area for days without finding much. I was starting to get pretty discouraged. I was getting ready to turn around and head back home when a friendly illusioner walked up to me.
Excuse me, are you the fox that was here a while back? The one who totally wrecked that frozen zombie?
That sure sounds like me.
Rad! So, listen dude, I'm stoked you did that and all, but I kinda need some more help, if that's cool. You got a place I could crash for a while? I'm scared more of those frozen guys are gonna come through here.
Sure, you can come back to my base with me.
Sick!
Thanks, dude. I led the illusioner back to my base and left him to get settled in. Then, I visited my sheep and collected some wood from them. With more people staying here, I want to spruce the place up a bit. I think some decorative banners will do the trick. Putting up all the banners took a little while, but when I was done, I could tell the hard work was worth it. I wish Sonic could see this base. I bet he'd be really proud of me.
I'm sure he would, Zozo.
Lobert! Uh-oh, you look pretty upset. What's wrong?
I'm afraid Ivan's in trouble. He needs our help. I only hope it isn't already too late.
From day 32 to day 35, Blobert and I rushed to the aid of Ivan the Iceologer. We followed the glow of his campfire, but when we got to the campsite, the cozy hideout was overrun with Dr. Robotnik's frozen zombies. Where's Ivan? I don't see him.
Don't worry, Zozo. I'll look for him. You handle these horrid creatures.
While Blobert continued searching for Ivan, I ran as fast as I could and started slashing my way through the horde of zombies. When you're in a situation this dire, you've got to go fast if you want to survive. Take that, and that, and that! It was tough fighting so many of them, but I was a much better fighter than I was when I first spawned, and I was able to defeat almost all of them. I was about to finish off the last zombie when he started laughing. What's so funny?
An eye for an eye, Zozo. You may have destroyed my friends, but we destroyed one of yours too.
What? No, not Ivan!
Look at you, so sad. Are you gonna cry about it?
Maybe, but right now, I'm gonna do this! And with one final blow, I destroyed the last frozen zombie! From day 36 to day 39, I was desperate to get my mind off of losing Ivan. So I took off and flew all the way back to the Basalt Barrera. As I looked down at the landscape, I could see a geomancer trying to get my attention.
Hey, you! Over here!
I began my descent and landed right in front of him. Hey, did you want to tell me something?
More like ask you something. Hi, I'm Jeff. I've been studying rock formations around here for a long time now, and my research has been going pretty well. Or at least it was, until this super aggressive Cyclops showed up. He's been stomping all over the area and refusing to let me take any samples. He threatened to squash me if I tried again.
Yikes! That's no good!
Think you could help me get him out of here?
I'll give it my best shot. I took off into the air again, and with such a great vantage point, it wasn't long before I spotted the Cyclops. Hey, any chance you'll leave if I just ask really nicely? He didn't say anything. He just tried to attack me. Okay, well, I tried the easy way. Time for the hard way. This looks like a job for my Hulk smash. This time, it was the Cyclops who got crushed. Jeff the Geomancer was so relieved when I told him.
Thank you. I can't wait to continue my research. I'm trying to find new ways for people to protect themselves from the Armored Vindicator, you see.
He and his frozen zombies just destroyed my friend, and they're trying to get me next.
Oh dear, you'd better be careful. If you think his frozen zombies are bad, then you don't want to meet the Dread Beast.
I keep hearing about this Dread Beast. I really don't like the sound of him.
Nor should you. He's a vile creature and an extremely difficult force to defeat. Be careful out there. If you're taking on the Armored Vindicator, you'll certainly cross paths with the beast too.
From day 40 to day 43, I soared through the sky all the way back to my base. When I landed, I saw Blowbert waiting for me.
Zozo, welcome back! Look what I've been up to. I added some bookshelves and couches to the base. It looks pretty cozy, right?
Sure does. What gave you the idea to do all of this?
Well, if it isn't too much trouble, I was hoping we could invite some of the other conjured slimes to stay with us. It's a pretty dangerous world out there for a slime, and you've given me a really safe home. I'd love to share it.
Go for it. They're welcome here. The next day, a whole group of conjured slimes arrived at the base. Make yourselves comfortable, everybody. I love making new friends. After I greeted the slimes, the Illusioner came to speak with me.
Hey man, I could use your help with a, gnarly problem of mine. You think you could fight a Gorgon for me? One stole my pet axolotl and took him out to the cold swamplands. And I'm not strong enough to, well, get that little dude back on my own.
Sure, I'll do my best. From day 44 to day 49, I flew to the cold swamplands in search of the missing axolotl and the Gorgon who took him. This place is starting to give me the creeps. I hope I don't run into any more trouble out here.
A foolish hope, Tails. Your days are numbered, and soon I will fulfill my purpose and rid the world of you and your little hedgehog friend.
Ah, the Armored Vindicator! I keep telling you, Sonic isn't here, and I don't have anything to do with this.
No more lies. Your days are numbered, Tails, and soon they will run out. Mark my words, before they do, I will have destroyed you. If I don't, Dr. Robotnik will deactivate me for failing my mission, so I must not fail.
Pretty harsh. Maybe you should fight him instead of me.
Silence! I've had enough of you. Deathworm, handle this pathetic fox.
As the Armored Vindicator ran off, a huge, terrifying Deathworm slithered towards me. From day 50 to day 53, I faced off against the super intimidating Deathworm. With a name like Deathworm, I'm guessing you're not just looking for a hug.
I will destroy you, Tails.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I can't let you do that. I like being not destroyed. So, Hulk Smash! I slammed my fist into the ground, sending the Deathworm flying backwards. While it was disoriented, I rushed at it with my sword and won the fight. Some Deathworm? You weren't so scary. I saw something drop on the ground where the Deathworm fell. Oh hey, what's this little note? It says, from the desk of Dr. Robotnik, the Armored Vindicator is my most promising creation. A tough combatant with no mercy or fear, but his weakness against diamond-based weapons is unacceptable. I must find a way to correct this. Wait a second. This sounds like diamond weapons might help me get the upper hand against the Armored Vindicator. I hope that's true. As I was leaving the area, I noticed something sparkly in the crater where I fought the worm. Mystical diamonds! This will come in handy later! From day 54 to day 57, I saw a tiny little axolotl waddling through the cold swamplands. Hey, little guy, are you looking for your owner? He seemed to trust me and started approaching me when a Gorgon suddenly jumped in between us and attacked. You must be the pet napper. Don't you know it's wrong to come between someone and their axolotl? She didn't answer me. She just kept trying to attack. Luckily, I had my sword ready, and with a few swipes of my blade, I made that Gorgon history. Come with me, little guy. I took the axolotl back to my base and delivered him back into the arms of the Illusioner.
Hank, I missed you so much, buddy. Hey, Zozo, you're a real good dude.
From day 58 to day 62, I expanded my sheep pen to give the sheep more room to graze and walk around. Can't stop thinking about that note. I think I really need some diamond gear. Back to the mines! Down in the mining cavern, I dug tirelessly until I happened upon some diamonds. Perfect! Using the diamonds I mined and the diamonds I got from the deathworm, I crafted a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. If I were the armored vindicator, I'd be pretty nervous right about now. When I got back to my base, Blobert was practically bouncing with excitement.
Zozo, come look! I made the perfect hangout space for us, and the other slimes, and anyone else who wants to visit or stay here.
I followed him, and he showed me a new living area, complete with a fireplace. You did amazing work, Blobert. I'm so glad you're staying here with me. From day 63 to day 66, I was down in the mining cavern digging for more useful materials. I can't find anything. I wish I knew what I should do next.
Well, Zozo, my good chap, I believe I can be of assistance with that.
Ah, Michael, you scared me.
Apologies for the surprise, but an old chum of mine from the Dark Forest sent me a letter, and I believe she can offer you some valuable information.
Oh, thanks. I left the cavern and took to the skies, flying to the Dark Forest. When I landed, a gray hippogriff emerged from the shadows right in front of me.
I've been waiting for you, Zozo.
Stay back, I have a diamond sword.
Oh, gosh. No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm Michael, the Mountaineer's friend. My name is Gracie. I have some information for you about the Armored Vindicator. If you can help me with something first.
Sure, what is it?
Well, there's a troll trying to drive me out of my home here. I'd be able to focus on helping you out if I knew he wasn't going to try anything. But I'm too weak to fight him myself.
I'll give it a shot. From day 67 to day 70, I waited with Gracie for the bothersome troll to show up. After a day, he did, stomping up to Gracie and roaring in her face. She hid behind a tree to get away before he could attack her. Hey, leave her alone! The troll turned his attention to me, roaring and charging right at me. So I attacked with my new diamond sword. That nasty troll didn't stand a chance. You can come out now, Gracie.
Thank you so much, Zozo. Now for the info I promised you. The Armored Vindicator lives in an abandoned laboratory near here. I think it used to belong to Dr. Robotnik. It might even be where he was created. I can show you which way to go, if you want.
Yes, please. Just point me in the right direction. From day 71 to day 74, I followed Gracie's directions and began my search for the abandoned laboratory. I don't see anything but trees. I wonder where the laboratory is. It's so hard to find what I'm looking for. But it's not hard to find more Zozo videos. All you have to do is search ZOZO, and there they are. Finally, I spotted it. A big, creepy abandoned laboratory. Yes, this must be it.
You made a grave mistake coming here, little fox.
The Armored Vindicator had snuck up right behind me. I tried to attack him with my diamond sword, but he was still too strong. Uh-oh, I guess my diamond weapon isn't enough. I'll need to get stronger too. I didn't want to, but I had to run away before he did too much damage to me. From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base and stopped only when I reached my room. Can't believe I had to run away. I thought I was ready. I guess I was wrong. I didn't want to face my friends while feeling like a loser, so I just went to lie down in my room. Sometime later, I heard someone entering my room. Who is it?
Hey, dude! We wanted to give you some good vibes, so we made some rad improvements around the pad. Come check it out!
I followed the illusioner and saw that everyone had built a watchtower. Oh, wow! Thank you. That does make me feel a little better.
I also brought you a present.
Blobert handed me a magic golden apple. I took a bite and immediately felt much better. Not just because I needed a snack, but because it made me transform into a bigger, stronger fox. My hearts increased to 100. I was so excited. I spun around and I unleashed a whirlwind attack. Well, that's new.
Maybe that's just what you need to get the advantage in your battle with the Armored Vindicator.
From day 79 to day 84, I flew back to the Dark Forest, feeling confident. When I landed, I spotted a siren attacking a pink pixie. Well, I wasn't going to just stand there and let that happen. Hey! When the siren looked at me, I blasted her with the whirlwind attack and it blew her away. I could get used to this.
Thank you. You saved my life. I wish I could repair you.
No worries. I'm just glad I could help.
Wait, I can. I forgot I was carrying this. Here, I hope you'll find it useful.
She handed me a sparkling new diamond helmet. Wow, this is amazing, thank you! I put it on right away, and I felt tougher than ever. From day 85 to day 89, I flew back to my base in a really great mood. I had a new ability, a new helmet, and a new confident attitude. When I landed though, I got a feeling that something was really wrong. I was right. As I approached my base, I could see a horde of frozen zombies crawling all over it. I even destroyed our new watchtower. Stop it!
We would, if you would accept your doom at the hands of the armored Vindicator.
Never! I used my whirlwind attack to knock the zombies over, and I tried to chase them, but I lost track of them in the woods. While I was trying to see which way the zombies went, I spotted a cockatrice. Hey, did you see some frozen zombies run through here?
I sure did. I can tell you where they went if you do me a favor and help me break open this here chest. I lost the key, and I can't get it open.
I broke open the chest with one swipe of my pickaxe, and the cockatrice grabbed the book that was inside.
Hooray! My Mima's recipe book! Thank you, kind stranger. They went that way.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed the cockatrice's directions and tracked the frozen zombies to the abandoned laboratory in the dark forest. I should have known they'd be here. I was about to confront the frozen zombies when a huge, terrifying dread beast emerged from inside the lair.
I see you, Zozo. You can't hide from me.
Uh-oh. Well, if I can't hide, I guess I have no choice but to fight. With nothing else left to do, I drew my sword and got ready for battle. From day 95 to day 97, the dread beast rushed at me and attacked. I dodged, but he was fast and strong too. This is gonna be my toughest fight yet.
It was always going to end here. Accept your fate, and I will make it quick. So I can't promise it won't hurt a lot.
No, I won't give up. I can't give up. Not just for me, but for everyone that Dr. Robotnik and the Armored Vindicator want to harm. I summoned all my strength and Hulk smashed the ground, toppling the Dread Beast. Then I used my whirlwind attack to keep him down. Finally, I finished the battle with my diamond sword. I did it! I did it!
Fool! The battle has only just begun. After you, my master will obliterate your little blue hedgehog friend. Then the echidna will be next. You will all suffer.
With those last words, the Dread Beast was gone. I won't let that happen. I know now that I need to make sure I don't lose this final fight. I've got to go home and make sure I'm really ready to do this. On day 98, I flew back to my base, where all of my friends were waiting for me. I decided to speak to each one of them, one by one. First, I spoke to the Illusioner.
Hey, man, how are you feeling?
I'm scared, but I'm determined. I can't back down, no matter how nervous I am. Then, Blowbert.
I know you can do it, Zozo. You are a truly impressive hero, and you've done so much for me and the rest of slime kind. You'll defeat the evil once and for all. Here, I brought you this to protect you.
Blowbert handed me a royal shield. Thank you. And finally, Michael the Mountaineer.
I don't have much to gift you, old sport, but I do have this potion of strength. It's just as reinvigorating as a nice spot of tea.
I drank the potion and immediately felt more powerful. Thank you, all of you. I promise to do my best. On day 99, I flew back to the old laboratory in the dark forest to face off against the Armored Vindicator. Let's do this. There were a ton of frozen zombies stationed in front of the entrance. Oh, great. It'll take me forever to fight through those guys. Just then, Gracie the Gray Hippogriff emerged from a hiding spot behind a tree.
I'm here to help. I've been training, and I think I can fight for myself now, and also fight for you. Let me handle the zombies. You take care of the big guy.
Thank you, Gracie. While she rushed at the zombies, I slipped inside the Armored Vindicator's lair. On day 100, I entered the laboratory and confronted the Armored Vindicator.
So, it's come to this. Prepare to taste defeat, Tails. I won't be deactivated by my creator. I will serve my purpose.
We don't have to do this. You could just walk away peacefully, or even come stay at my base. I'll help protect you against Dr. Robotnik.
You can't trick me. Stand and fight me. This is what I was made for.
He charged at me and attacked, and I knew I had no other choice. I used my whirlwind attack to knock him out of the way. Then, it was all about the sword fight, and I could tell my diamond sword was doing some damage. He got in a few good hits, but I kept going. I got knocked down, but I got up again. He couldn't keep me down. Finally, I struck one more blow, and he fell for good. I did it! I won! I wish I could stick around to see Dr. Robotnik's face when he finds out he lost, but I don't want to be here when he comes to inspect the lab. Time to go back home and celebrate. Gotta go fast. On day 1, I spawned onto the beach as a land octopus. Whoa! I have 8 legs and 10 hearts! This is crazy! I wonder what adventure I'll get up to! But my excitement was interrupted when I sensed a presence coming towards me with my heightened octopus senses! I saw a Vindicator chef coming towards me! Ah! Who are you?
You don't know me? Well, I must say I find that rather hard to believe, for I am Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef, the most famous celebrity chef in the overworld.
Oh, well, hi then, Chef Clef. I'm Zozo. I'm excited to meet you. What kind of things can you cook?
I can cook anything and everything. But right now, I'm feeling like calamari. That's meat from octopus.
Oh no! I slithered away as fast as possible. Lucky for me, I was able to take advantage of my slippery octopus speed to escape certain doom. But I hadn't been able to fully escape yet. Some royal guards who worked for Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef, came running after me, and with no weapons, all I could do was slither for my life. I was able to get out of there, but only barely. I need to find some way to defend myself, or I'm gonna go from a land octopus to an overpriced dish in no time. On day 2, I continued slithering across the beach. My run-in with that diabolical chef had left me exhausted, and sadly, it had also left me feeling really hungry. I don't want my hunger bar to fall any further. Time to sample the bounty of the sea. I slithered over to the sea, where luckily I was able to find a fishing rod just lying around. With that, I was able to catch some tasty fish and bring my hunger bar back up. That's more like it. Now let's put a roof over my head. I searched around until I found some trees and broke them down with my tentacles. I was able to make a wooden pickaxe and then mine down into the ground until I'd gathered enough stone to make myself a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. With the rest of my wood and stone, it wasn't hard to start building my beachside dream house, the perfect place for a land octopus like me to live. It's not much, but it looks cozy and easy to defend. And I'd need to defend it sooner than I thought. One of Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef's minions, the royal guards, ran in towards me.
Hey, there you are. The chef will reward me for capturing you. The great feast is only 99 days away, and it's our job to ensure he has all the ingredients he needs.
I'll never be an ingredient for your evil boss. I swear on all 8 of my tentacles. We squared up and started to battle, and it turned out that 8 limbs are better than 4, cause in the end, I defeated him. Nobody gets to cook me. On day 3, I slithered away from the beach and into the cold swamplands. Who knows what interesting resources I can find out here? I pulled out my fishing rod and tried to fish in one of the pools of swamp water when I heard thundering footsteps in the distance. Moments later, a giant squall golem turned up, ready to battle.
You're one of the ingredients on Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef's recipe list.
Lists? There are even more people your boss wants to cook up?
Yep, and they should be honored. They will find true purpose as one of the chef's delicious dishes. He's a genius. If you could taste the meal he's going to turn you into, you'd give yourself up now.
I'm never ever gonna give up! Least of all to someone who wants to put me in a crockpot. Let's battle! But I may have been an overeager octopus because the squall golem was way tougher than I thought. I was losing a lot of fights and not doing much damage, so I needed to get out of there. As I was running away, I saw an armored piglin hop out of a hidden trapdoor.
Quick, get in here with me.
My mom always taught me to trust strange men hopping out of holes in the ground. I hopped into the trapdoor with the piglin, and we hid together as the squall golem passed above. You really saved my bacon there, armored piglin.
The name's Patrick, and it's not just your bacon I'm looking to save. Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef, wants pork on his menu, so I'm in just as much danger as you.
And I guess we better stick together. There's safety in numbers. Come back to my base with me, Patrick.
I've heard worse plans.
From day 4 to day 5, I returned to my base with Patrick, the armored piglin, my new friend and ally in our joint quest to not get eaten. Alrighty, time to build you a new room. So that's exactly what I did. I gathered up more wood and stone and started constructing a new bedroom above mine. Perfect for Patrick to rest his weary head. He seemed impressed with my work.
Thanks for this, Zozo. Great work. If you don't mind, I'm gonna hit the hay for the rest of the day. It's been a long week.
No problem, man. As Patrick went to bed, I started exploring the beach, hoping to find more interesting treasures. Instead, I found another little group of royal guards, and they were looking for a fight.
Only 95 days until the grand feast. We can't let this sketchy cephalopod get away.
What followed wasn't an easy fight, as guard after guard ran over to me. But in the end, I came out on top. I noticed that one of the defeated royal guards had dropped something too, a stack of javelins. Finally, a ranged attack! This is going to be so useful! From day 6 to day 8, I was out shepherding sheep. I lured them back to my base, where I built a paddock for them. This will be perfect if I need any wool later. I was wandering the far reaches of the beach again when I encountered something I was a lot less eager to see. Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef, now carrying a huge scary machete.
Like my new cooking tool, Zozo? It slices my ingredients nice and fine. I figured I'd give you a first-hand demonstration.
Maybe not. I think I'd prefer to just take your word for it.
Please, Zozo, I insist. Witness a master chef at work.
Victor lunged forward and gave me a slash with his machete, knocking off a bunch of my hearts. For a chef, he was so strong. Couldn't fight back. All I could do was slither away as fast as possible.
You can run, but you can't hide, Zozo. You'll end up in my pot, one way or another.
From day 9 to day 10, I returned to the base, feeling shaken by what a close call that last fight had been. Thankfully, I didn't have much time to dwell on my thoughts, because Patrick the armored piglin was there waiting for me.
Zozo, you're alive!
Barely. Victor almost destroyed me.
But he didn't. That in itself is amazing. Speaking of amazing, I've been working on a statue for you. Something to inspire you to work and fight hard. Go take a look.
So I did. The statue had only just been started, but it still looked so cool. I couldn't tell what it was yet, but I couldn't wait to find out. What about you guys? What do you think? Tell me what you think it is down in the comments. But that wasn't all that Patrick had done while I was away from the base. He'd also built a storage room for us to keep weapons and supplies in. This is such an amazing upgrade. The base is really starting to feel like a true home. From day 11 to day 12, after all those days of construction work on the base, Patrick and I decided to relax together. What's the story behind Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef? How did he end up so powerful?
He was once an average Vindicator, or so I've heard. But he had such a talent for cooking that people started doing favors for him in exchange for a chance to try his food.
Yeah, I can see how that makes someone popular, but he's got a whole army at his beck and call. Royal guards, the squall golem, and who knows what else.
That's because his cooking made him popular with the rich and powerful people. Lords and ladies, kings and queens, business people and military generals. He was so in demand that soon enough, he was as rich and powerful as any of them.
So that's how he became so connected. And I'm guessing the Grand Feast is where he caters to all these rich and powerful people?
You guessed correctly. Anyone wants a seat at the table, and they want us on the plates.
And we're gonna have to destroy Victor before the feast rolls around! From day 13 to day 15, knowing the dangerous scope of Victor Clef, the Vindicator chef's evil plans, I knew that I needed to get stronger and settle some old scores. That's why I returned to the cold swamplands to take on the diabolical squall golem who was waiting for me there.
Oh, there you are, little land octopus. You gave me the runaround last time. This time, I'll really turn you into squid rings.
You said it yourself, Squall Golem. I'm an octopus, so that joke doesn't even make sense.
Drat, you're right. Let's just fight.
So we did. This time, though, I warmed him up with some laser-focused javelins before going in with my sword and fighting him with everything I had. It wasn't easy, but in the end, he was defeated and I was victorious. But it wasn't just a symbolic victory. I'd gained enough XP to level up and become a bigger, stronger octopus with 30 hearts. I also developed a new power, Invisibility Camouflage, a classic octopus power. This will come in handy against that evil chef. From day 16 to day 19, I decided it was time to give my weapons a level up. That's why I searched the beach until I found an underground mining cavern and slithered down inside. Oh, it's dark down here. Thank goodness octopi are used to slithering around in cold, dark places. After a few hours of searching, I found a vein of iron ore in the ground and used my stone pickaxe to dig it up. This should be enough iron ore to work with. But that's when I realized I wasn't alone in the mining cavern. There was a fungus thrower down there, and you'll never guess what he was doing. That's right, he was throwing fungus. Gross. I won't let you get away with this! I returned fire with my javelins until the fungus thrower was defeated! I retired to my base after that, using the furnace to smelt my iron ore into ingots and build a brand new iron sword and iron pickaxe. Soon I'm gonna have more weapons and tools than I have tentacles! From day 20 to day 22, I woke up with Patrick the Armored Piglin standing in my bedroom.
Zozo, Victor Clef the Vindicator Chef is standing right outside our base.
Oh no, am I having a night terror?
No, Zozo, you're having a day terror. Get up before he runs in here and annihilates us both.
Didn't leave much up to interpretation. I slithered out of bed, grabbed my sword, and turned invisible. I snuck outside to get the jump on Victor. I saw him standing there, right in front of the base, his machete looking as shiny and deadly as ever. I needed to be really careful, even though I was invisible.
That Zozo has got to be around here somewhere. I smell fresh seafood, but I can't see him anywhere.
And now was my chance. It was time for a sneak attack. I ran up behind him, turned visible, and struck him with my sword. He seemed surprised by my attack, and I hit him again before he could even hit me back.
You slippery little molluscule!
The battle was on. Victor was still extremely tough, but this time I was a little more ready to face him. By the time he stepped away from the fight, he looked worn out.
This isn't the best use of my time. I'm going to go and prepare other dishes. I'll come back for you later, Zozo. I'll serve you fresh.
Victor ran off after that. I was amazed I'd survived, but now I also knew there was hope for me, a lowly land octopus, to defeat the deadliest chef in the land. From day 23 to day 26, I was walking around the beach by my base when I spotted something in the sand. Hey, what's this? I took a closer look and saw that it was a shield of the deep. Wow, this is pretty snazzy. It must have washed up on shore. I'm so lucky. I picked up the shield and tried it out. Shield is amazing. I can't wait to try it out in a real fight. As I was walking back to my base with my new shield, I saw something written in the sand. Z-O-Z-O. Hey, that's me! That reminds me, if you want to see more of my adventures, you can find them by searching Z-O-Z-O. From day 27 to day 31, I woke up to the sound of Patrick the Armored Piglin in my room.
Zozo, I've been working on the statue. Come take a look.
I followed him to the statue and admired the progress he'd made. This looks great! I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Thank you. I can tell it's missing something, but I'm not sure what.
What if you added some gold?
That's a great idea. There should be some out in the dunes. Would you be so kind as to go out and gather some for me?
Sure. I traveled to the dunes and started searching for gold. While I was looking around, a group of royal guards spotted me.
Look, that evasive octopus is back. The grand feast approaches. We can't let him get away this time.
Told you before, I'm not gonna be a dish at your feast. I just need some stuff for a statue.
You can come willingly, or we can throw you into the pot ourselves.
Or third option, I do this. I charged at the guards and attacked with my sword. They weren't ready for me to be so bold, and it gave me the advantage I needed to win. From day 32 to day 35, I was happy to begin another day where I wasn't somebody's meal. The feast getting closer, they're gonna be more desperate to catch me. I'll need to be on guard and do everything I can to get stronger.
Excuse me? I know you're talking to yourself right now, but could you maybe help me out?
I looked, and there was a poisoned anemone in front of me. Oh, sure. What do you need help with?
Someone working for Chef Clef kidnapped my friend, the killer bunny. He said something about making her into rabbit stew, and I'm so worried. I'm not much of a fighter, so I'd really appreciate it if you could lend a tentacle.
Heck, I'll lend all 8. Show me where to go. From day 36 to day 39, I followed the poison anemone's directions and listened for the sound of a killer bunny in danger. I ended up outside of a small base further along the dunes and stopped when I heard a terrified voice coming from inside.
Help! Somebody help!
I turned invisible and snuck inside. There, I saw a strider keeping the killer bunny locked up in a cage. So I snuck up behind the strider and turned visible just in time to strike him with my sword.
Ouch! Where'd you come from? Never mind, an octopus and a rabbit will surely give me an invitation to the great feast.
All this for a party you're not even invited to? That's pretty sad, buddy.
Shut up! You're the sad one!
From day 40 to day 43, I continued my fight with the strider. He lunged at me, but I countered with another attack. And before long, he was knocked down for good. Bunny, I'm here to help. I grabbed a key off the ground and unlocked the cage.
Thank you so much. I thought I was going to wind up as somebody's soup for sure.
Not on my watch. I'm on that ingredient list too. We've got to stick together so we don't end up on a plate. Your friend sent me. Come on. I led the killer bunny back to the poisoned enemy, and he couldn't have been happier.
Here, I want you to take this potion of healing as a thank you. I spent so much time being poisonous, it's given me a real talent for making healing potions. You wouldn't believe how much they come in handy.
Thank you! You both stay safe. Watch out for Chef Clef and his goons. From day 44 to day 49, I finally managed to gather some gold after my side quest was complete. So I headed back to my base to give Patrick the armored piglin everything he needed to finish the statue. Patrick, I've got your gold.
Thank you so much, Zozo. I'll get right to work.
Well, Patrick's working on the statue. Maybe I should start a project too. Oh, I know. I'll build a perimeter wall to keep the base safe, in case Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef, tries to break in and cook me up again. I built a huge wall around the perimeter of the base, and when I was finished, I took a step back and admired my work. Awesome! I definitely feel a lot safer now. I wonder how it's going with Patrick. I headed back over to check out the statue, and the gold really added a lot to it. This looks great, Patrick. Nice job.
Can you tell what it is yet?
Not yet, but there's definitely something familiar about it. I can't wait to see how it looks when it's done.
I'm almost there.
From day 50 to day 53, I was starting to feel nervous. We're halfway to the great feast, and I'm scared that Chef Clef is going to try something sneaky. I'm sure he and his goons are starting to get desperate. Just then, Patrick, the armored piglin, ran to my room to confirm my fears.
Zozo, there are a bunch of royal guards breaking through the perimeter wall.
Oh no, is Chef Clef with them?
No, but he's nearby. I can hear him yelling orders to all of them.
So he won't even face me himself. That cowardly so-and-so. I charged out of my room, and sure enough, there were royal guards storming my home.
Grab the piglin, then get the octopus.
No, get away from him! I tried to stop the royal guards, but a whole bunch of them attacked me to keep me busy, while one grabbed Patrick and dragged him away. I'll come save you as soon as I can, I promise. The royal guards closed in around me, but I fought back, taking them out one by one. When I finally finished, I grew into a bigger octopus. My hearts increased to 50, and I realized I had a new ability. Whoa, I can shift shape now. You watch yourself, Chef. I'm going to get my friend back. From day 54 to day 57, I went into my room and thought about what just happened. What should I do? I need to figure out a way to get Patrick back. If only I knew someone who had dealt with a kidnapped friend before. Wait a minute, I do know someone. That poisoned an enemy. I don't have much time to waste. I need to go to the dunes now. I ran to the dunes as fast as my tentacles could carry me and stopped at the poisoned enemy's home. Hello? It's Zozo! I need your help!
Oh, Zozo, welcome. Anything for the octopus that helped me get Bunny back?
Chef Clef kidnapped my friend. I think he wants to turn him into bacon. I have to get him back.
Yikes, that's terrible. Well, he probably took your friend back to his base. So you'll definitely need to bring your strongest weapons if you're gonna make it in and out of there without getting grilled. Literally. Do you have any diamond weapons?
Not yet.
Then my advice is to get mining, and fast. Then check the Flowering Grove. I've heard that Chef Clef holds his prisoners in a base there.
From day 58 to day 62, I rushed back into the mines. Okay, diamonds, time to get mine. So anyway, I started mining, and I kept digging until I saw something sparkly. Yes, diamonds! I dug up all the diamonds and was getting ready to carry them back to my base when a spider suddenly crawled out of the shadows and bit me. Hey, back off, creepy crawly. I thought us eight-legged freaks could stick together, but I guess not. Spider didn't answer. He bit me again. Come on, I guess I'll have to squash this bug. I attacked the spider with my sword and managed to defeat it pretty quickly. Can't let a spider slow me down while I'm trying to get ready for a rescue mission. I took the diamonds back to my base and used them to craft a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. Look at this. I'm so ready to fight Chef Clef now. From day 63 to day 66, I was trying out my new diamond sword and practicing my fighting. I was running all over the base, getting really carried away, and before I knew it, I ended up looking at the statue that Patrick had been working on. Oh, I almost forgot. I made this sword for a reason. I can't forget my mission. I have to go to Chef Clef's base and get Patrick back. He's not gonna want to end up on a banquet table. I won't let that happen. I took one more look at that beautiful statue. Still can't tell what it is, but I'll make sure Patrick gets the chance to finish it. Also, before I forget, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing adventures in Minecraft. Time for me to go and save my friend. From day 67 to day 70, I traveled to the Flowering Grove to try and fight for my friend back. It didn't take me long to spot Chef Clef's base. It was huge and evil looking, and I knew right away that it belonged to a bad guy. I couldn't run right inside. There were royal guards stationed all over the place. I guess I'll have to fight my way in.
Oh look, it's that slippery octopus that keep eluding our grasp. Quick, capture him so the chef can prepare him. The feast is only 30 days away. Maybe he can serve roasted pig and octopus.
No one's gonna eat me or any of my friends. I don't care what kind of huge feast you have planned. Chef Clef is just going to have to deal with the disappointment.
No one disappoints the Vindicator Chef. Perish for your foolish words.
With that, the royal guards charged at me. Using my diamond sword, I fought them all until there was no more guards left. Wait a minute, I can shapeshift now. I'll turn into a guard, and no one will know it's me. I shapeshifted into a royal guard and headed inside. I just have to keep walking and look confident. They'll never know the difference. From day 71 to day 74, I was strolling through the Vindicator Chef's base as casually as I could. I even whistled to myself a little bit, just to look like I was extra casual. But a little while into my exploration, a squall golem confronted me.
You, God, what are you doing in this area? You're supposed to be patrolling outside and keeping an eye out for that octopus.
Oh, I'm on a special mission from the boss. Yeah, that's it.
I didn't hear anything about a special mission. That sounds pretty suspicious to me. Say, what's the Royal Guard secret handshake? If you're really a god, surely you know the handshake.
It's a big thumbs up.
Intruder! Intruder!
The squall golem attacked me, and I shifted back into my true shape.
I knew it! You're that octopus!
I may not be a real guard, but I still can fight! The squall golem lunged at me, and I countered with my diamond sword. I was so much stronger than before. He was big and tough, but I still managed to defeat him. That was a close one. I hope nobody hurt him. As I was getting ready to leave the room, I spotted a chest. Ooh, what's in here? I opened it up and found a full set of diamond armor. Hey, this matches my sword, and it'll protect me. Functional and fashionable.
Help! Help! Somebody help!
Patrick, you must be in here. I turned invisible and followed the sound of Patrick's voice. From day 75 to day 78, I snuck into the next area of the base, using my invisibility to stay out of sight. I found myself in the chef's kitchen, and there, in a cage in the corner, was Patrick the Armored Piglin. Oh no, it looks like he's getting ready to cook Patrick.
Let's see, how should I prepare you? Barbecue pork, bacon, sausage? Why stop at just one way? You've got a lot of meat on your bones. I can make all three.
Please, don't eat me.
I'm afraid it can't be helped. I have a lot of people to feed at my feast, and I have a reputation of culinary excellence to uphold. Some sacrifices must be made. You don't get to be a world-famous celebrity chef without them. You know the expression. If you want to make an omelet, you have to break a few eggs. In this scenario, you're one of the eggs.
At that moment, I turned visible again and drew my sword. He's not an egg, he's my friend.
Oh, Zozo! How nice of you to deliver yourself straight to my kitchen. Good news! I've decided to upgrade you from appetizer to main course.
While he was gloating, I attacked, knocking the chef back. While he was recovering from the hit, I quickly unlocked the cage and set Patrick free. Run, Patrick, run home! I'll meet you there!
Thank you, Zozo. Be careful.
Patrick ran out of the room, and I turned back to the Vindicator Chef to continue our fight. But when I looked, he was gone. Hey, where'd you go? We weren't done fighting. Could hear his voice coming from another room.
Oh, we'll fight again, Zozo. And next time, it'll end with you on a serving platter.
From day 79 to day 84, I ran out of the Vindicator Chef's base and started my journey home. Meanwhile, in his back room, Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef, was whipping up a new culinary creation. It wasn't a dish this time, but a potion.
This may not be my most delicious recipe, but it will bring me a truly tasty victory. Potion of strength. Let's see how you do.
He drank the potion and became larger. He flexed his new muscles and cackled evilly.
I'd like to see you try and defeat me now, Zozo. With this new power, there isn't an ingredient in the land who can escape me. I'll cook anything and anyone I please.
From day 85 to day 89, I arrived back at my base. When I got there, Patrick was waiting for me.
You did it, Zozo. You saved me. You're amazing. Thanks for saving my bacon back there.
Of course, you're my friend. But the fight isn't over. Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef, got away from me before I could try to finish the battle. I don't know what he's planning next.
Me neither, but I do have something that I think can help you. On my way out of the base, I found this book. It contains a fire aspect enchantment. You can enchant your sword and use it to set fire to a target. Let's see how the chef likes being cooked for a change.
Awesome! I'll try it out!
While you do, I'm gonna finally finish that statue.
I used my fire aspect enchantment to enchant my sword, and it worked great! By the time I was done, Patrick was finished with the statue, so I decided to take a look at it. Wow, it's amazing!
Can you tell what it is now?
Yes, it's an octopus! Thank you, Patrick! I love it!
I hope that the confidence from this octopus statue and the power of your new enchanted sword give you the strength to defeat the Vindicator Chef. The feast is getting closer and closer, and we have to be ready.
What else can I do to get ready?
I've heard there's a potion of power hidden out in the dunes. The area is protected by royal guards, but I know you can beat them and get inside.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed Patrick's instructions and traveled to the dunes. Once I was there, all I had to do was look for the cluster of royal guards, and then I knew I was in the right place.
Infernal octopus! You won't get away from us this time!
Well, I've gotten away every other time, so I think my odds are pretty good. They didn't like that very much, and they charged at me to attack. But I set them ablaze with my newly enchanted sword and burnt them all to a crisp. I hope the chef likes his guards well done. There was no one around to hear my hilarious joke, but I laughed at it anyway. Next, I headed into the building and looked for that potion. Chest! I bet it's in here. I broke the chest open, and I was right. There was a potion of power inside. Can I drink it right now? No, I'd better wait until I really need it. This will be my secret ingredient. From day 95 to day 97, I traveled back to my base. The feast is only a few days away. I'm running out of time to prepare. Let's see, I've got the enchantment on my sword. I've got a potion of power. What else can I do to make sure I'm ready? Just then, I heard someone at the entrance to my base. Uh-oh, I wonder who that is. When I went to check, I was happy to see that it was the poison anemone.
Zozo, I've heard you're getting ready to take down Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef. I want to help.
Really? But you're safe from him. He doesn't want to cook with the poison anemone. You'd make his dinner guests sick.
That may be true, but he's targeted my friends. Once you go after people I care about, that gets me pretty steamed. No pun intended. So I brought you this. I never had much use for it, but I bet a warrior like you could get a lot out of it.
I wasn't sure what to expect, but my jaw dropped when he produced a full set of netherite armor. Whoa, this stuff is really rare.
Is it? I don't know much about fighting. I'm an anemone without many enemies, you see. But I'm glad. If he can help protect the creatures on the chef's ingredient list, then I know I've done my part. Bunny would be hopping mad at me if I didn't contribute something, and I'd be pretty mad at myself too.
Well, you've helped a ton. Thank you. For a poisoned anemone, you're really nice.
Well, even though I'm poisonous, I try not to be toxic. Good luck, Zozo.
On day 98, I spent the day getting all of my gear together. I had my netherite armor, my sword, my potion of power, and all of the strength and encouragement I got from my friends. I feel like I finally have everything I need. The only thing left to do now is get back to the Vindicator Chef's lair and put a stop to this. Only 2 days until the feast, and the only thing I want to be served is justice. As I was about to leave, I couldn't help but feel like I was forgetting something. Oh, I know! Don't forget to search for more Zozo videos, and leave a comment about who you want to see me play as next. On day 99, I made my journey to the Flowering Grove, back to the lair of Victor Clef, the Vindicator Chef. No guard outside. Guess I finally defeated all of them. I don't know what's waiting for me inside. I think now is the moment for my secret ingredient. Let's see how much power this potion really has. I grabbed the potion of power and drank every last drop. Whoa, I definitely feel it! Immediately, I started to transform into an even bigger, stronger, tougher octopus than before! I'm huge! And my hearts have increased! I have 100 now! Okay, it's time to go in! Feeling powerful, I let my tentacles carry me inside the base! No shape-shifting or invisibility this time. I want the chef to see me coming and know what he's up against. I found him in the kitchen. Whoa, he looks a lot bigger than last time. Good thing I'm much bigger too.
Well, look at you. I guess I'll be serving very generous portions of octopus as a feast tomorrow.
No one's going to be eating anything except for you and this humble pie I'm about to serve.
I'm not familiar with that particular cuisine.
It's an expression! It means I'm gonna kick your butt! The Vindicator Chef lunged at me, knocking me back, but my new armor protected me from taking any damage. Now, it's my turn. I drew my sword and used the fire enchantment, setting the Vindicator Chef on fire!
Ow, 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 you cut that out!
It's not fun being cooked, is it?
You can't do this to me! I'm famous! I'm a celebrity!
I don't care how famous you are. You can't keep hurting people, especially not my friends. He tried to attack me again, but he was too weak now, and in just one more hit, I finally managed to defeat him! On day 100, I traveled back home. Can't believe I did it! Everyone is safe now! When I arrived home, I saw that Patrick was throwing a big party for me. First, I spoke to Patrick.
Congratulations, Zozo. I knew you could do it.
And then, the poison anemone.
You saved the day! You saved everyone! What are you gonna do now?
Honestly, all that fighting worked up a pretty big appetite. I kind of feel like having a feast.